May God repose her gentle soul, grant her a place in paradise, and grant the family the fortitude to bear the loss. Amen. Thank you all once again for being part of this program. I welcome you all to the Renewed Hope Virtual Town Hall Conference. Today's conference is another special edition during which we will address the Renewed Hope agenda of the present administration in Nigeria regarding natural alternative medicine in research for healthcare and general wellness of Nigerians. And on the hot seat today to dissect this theme is our special guest, a distinguished professor of drug delivery and nanomedicine. He is Professor Martins Emeje. I hope I pronounced that name right. I'm not too sure. I'll ask in a minute because I don't like pronouncing people's name wrongly. Professor Martins Emeje, I'm told, PhD, FAAS, FNA Pharm, that is in pharmacy, FPSN, is the Director General, Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency, and then MDA. So permit me to digress a little bit. We held a 1-minute silence for his dearly departed mom, who just transitioned to the great beyond in the early hours of today. But despite all of that, our special guests insisted to me this morning when I heard the news that the show must go on. That says a lot about his character, about his person, and about his passion for Nigeria. And I think he deserves the commendation of everybody for that. This again fits into the narratives I've always been harping on regarding our leaders. The current crop of leaders that we have in Nigeria are such people that they have the passion for the country. They want the country to progress no matter what, even to the detriment of their own comfort, which is what special guest has displayed today. Again, don't let it shock you that he has been on this program he's joined us in the last 30 minutes. He joined us even before many people did. So that again marks him out as a leader to watch out for in the coming years. Thank you so very much, sir, for being part of this program. My co-host for today, Honorable Jacob Ogunsheye, Hajia Rekia Bello Abakar, Udeme Ukwe, Shombayewu, and Barrister Tosin Olayinka, who will be assisting me in moderating today's conference to ensure a smooth and uninterrupted deliberation. This conference, as you all know by now, is always streaming live across social media and especially on Ben TV, courtesy of the CEO of the first Nigerian African digital TV channel, headed by its CEO, Alistair Shoyode, Comrade Alistair Shoyode. Many thanks for your support and assistance always. And again, I always like to look through the whole the conference to see those who are participating. I can see new faces as well as the old faces. Towards the end of the program, I will be acknowledging the presence of leaders and stakeholders as soon as they join. In the meantime, on behalf of the team behind the Renewed Hope Global, I welcome you all to today's session. Today, as usual, we have in our midst, like I said earlier on, a VVIP who will engage us for the next 2 hours on the theme of today, which is public health impact, examining the potential benefits and challenges in public health. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce that our special guest for today has joined the conference. He is no other person than Professor Martins Emeje, Director General and Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency, NNMDA. So, to kickstart the conference properly, please permit me to read out the profile of our special guest, Professor Martin Emeje. Professor Martins Emeje is a distinguished professor of drug delivery and nanomedicine, a holder of Bachelor of Pharmacy with distinction from Ahmad Bello University, Zaria, my favorite university, by the way, Master of Pharmacy and PhD from the University of Nigeria, where he received the Best PhD Award and was enlisted in UNN Phases of Research. UNN means University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Emeje has specialized postdoctoral training in molecular and cell biology and nanoscience at Tezpur University and National Chemical Laboratory, respectively, in India. Professor Martins is also a graduate of product management from Walden University, USA, and had earlier obtained a professional teaching qualification from ABU Zaria, where he graduated as the overall best graduating student with 9 prizes and an automatic scholarship. Professor Emeje is cited more than 3,000 times by colleagues across the globe and has 180 publications, including media mentions, patents, and trademarks. He is an external examiner to universities in Nigeria, Ghana, and India. Professor Emeje was an adjunct lecturer at Uni Uyo for 9 years and a postgraduate supervisor at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, African Center for Excellence for Mycotoxin and Food Safety, Federal University of Technology, Minna, where he teaches postgraduate, master's and PhD courses in nanotechnology, intellectual property, and food safety pro bono. He is also a visiting professor to Bingham University, Nigeria. He has trained over 125 pharmacist interns and facilitated international postgraduate scholarships for more than 23 to advanced laboratories in the United States of America, United Kingdom, India, and China. He was the head of NIPRD's spin-off, during which the first indigenous phytomedicine currently marketed by Niclovic was licensed to an indigenous pharmaceutical company, May & Baker Nigeria PLC. Professor Emeje is the principal investigator of several foreign grants, including an $11.6 million for the development of anti-malaria, diabetes, and tuberculosis drugs from Nigeria medicinal plants and the establishment of the first nanomedicine center in Nigeria. His work on phytomedicines has so far resulted in 3 major products listed by NAFDAC and available in the market. Also, his work in the application of nanotechnology in drug delivery won World Health Organization WHO Innovation Award in Addis Ababa, no less. Emeje was one of the 8 finalists and the only Nigerian whose innovation for the advancement in health was selected by Emory University Facilitated Consortium. He is part of an international team of scientists from 23 countries who won a European grant on developing natural products for use in combating antimicrobial resistance. Sorry, some of these names are tongue twisting. So pardon me. Professor Emeje's team also won a WHO grant for developing a novel product for Nigeria's natural resources for the management of sickle cell disease. In April 2021, Martins was appointed by WHO as a member of the World Health Body's Expert Committee for Development of Target Product Profiles, TPP, for snake envenomment. Professor Emeje is also a consultant to WHO on quality management systems and has trained for WHO over 70 SMSEs in Nigeria on how to build quality into their products and services. He won the May & Baker Sponsored Professional Service Award for Research and Innovation in November 2021. Professor Emeje is a past national chairman of the Nigeria Association of Pharmacists in Academia, NAPA, the umbrella professional association of all pharmacists who undertake teaching and research in Nigerian universities and academic research institutes. At this time, he midwifed the discovery, development, and launch of the first herbal cough syrup in Nigeria. He is also a past president of the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology Cooperative Thrift and Credit Society, over 2,000 member associations spanning about 10 government agencies. During his tenure, he initiated a skills acquisition program that saw about 800 civil servants trained in giving interest-free loans to establish businesses. He won the Academic Pharmacist of the Year Award and Industrial Pharmacist of Nigeria's Distinguished Service Award back to back. Professor Emeje is part of an 8-member research team that won a 4-year grant on antimicrobial stewardship from the Canadian Institute of Health Research, CIHR, in 2025. Professor Emeje was named the Pioneer Vice Chancellor of the European University of Nigeria in May 2022. In October 2022, he was elected as a Fellow of the African Academy of Sciences, AAS. He was appointed by the Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, as the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency, NNMDA, 2 years ago. If that is not scary to anyone, I don't know what else is. So that, in a nutshell, is the profile of our special guest for today. So, Your Excellency, sir, you are highly welcome to the Renewed Hope Global Town Hall Conference. And first of all, our condolences to you on the sad loss of your dearly departed mom. And we sincerely appreciate you being here, because you don't have to be here. When you told me in the morning, you said the show must go on. I lost my mom, but I've sworn that I was going to be with you guys and I will be here. And you are here. You even came before many people. So thank you so very much. We really appreciate that. And I dove my heart for you for doing that. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
So once again, our main topic for today is public health impacts, examining the potential benefits and challenges in public health. Usually at this juncture, I will be the first to fire the first salvo of questions and yield the floor to our special guest to answer it before going into the question and answer session. But I understand from our special guest of honor since yesterday that he has a PowerPoint presentation. You know, when you're dealing with all this, we call them bourgeoisie, and some people call them eggheads. Whatever name you call them, they are academicians of notes. So whenever they come on our program, there's always a difference. We've been experiencing them for the past 4 weeks, and everyone that has been on our program has always dove their hearts for you guys. So once again, we have another one in our midst today. So he is going to give us another scintillating presentation. So I'm not going to ask you any questions, sir, because that will be your first salvo. So you have the floor now. So please fire on. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful, and I'm happy to be here. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so I'm grateful to be here. I'm happy to be here. It's a privilege to be here, and I don't take it for granted. One of the reasons why I took this appointment is because I believe that, having had the opportunity of going around in some countries and seeing that anywhere I went, that Nigerians, we were the talk. I mean, there's no lab. There is hardly any lab that you go that we are not the people that everybody is looking up to. So it is something that, I mean, we should not allow what people say or what people don't say, or the intimidations in whatever form across the world, to demoralize us or make us feel that we are not able. No, we are, because we are a special breed of people, and we do our things. When we do our things, we do it well. Do it well. We excel. And so that is the reason why I'm here. I'm glad to say, especially for some of us who this is an opportunity to be heard. You know, and I can assure you, I can tell you this for free, that there are many There are many people, I'm sure I'm not the only one, who is yearning to be heard in our society in terms of the work that we are doing. So when you told me that this is an opportunity to speak, I say very good. And then the devil wanted to try me by coming to take my mother away 2 a.m. this morning. The first thing I told myself, I said, well, if I consider myself as a director general at this time in our country, I am in the war front.
Yeah.
And if I'm in the war front, and together with my colleagues, bullet brings down somebody, will I turn back and run home? Won't I continue the fight in order to save my country?
Wow.
And that is what fueled my decision to say, even though my mother passed on a few hours ago, even though it is still on the road going to the mortuary in my local government, I told my younger brother, carry on. I need to answer this national call. And that is why I'm here. So just to say that, and I'd like to thank you very much, because my mother will also be looking down from heaven where she is. My mother is in heaven. Is a rare gem. My mother is he will be looking down from heaven and thanking you and thanking Nigeria. Because if I wasn't here, because if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't have known that my mother passed on. If I did come here, also, you wouldn't be saying that, I mean, all of these people, very important people from all over the world on this platform this afternoon, that they should rise for a minute silence for my mother. Nobody would have known my mother. Today, the world has stood in a minute silence for my mother, and I'm grateful to that. It's a national honor for me, and I don't take it for granted. I'm grateful. Okay, so let's go to the business of today. Public health impact, examining the potential benefits and challenges of natural medicine in public health. It's no gainsaying the fact that this is a controversial area. It is a controversial area, not because it is supposed to be a controversial area. It is a controversial area because we have history of colonialism, because we have allowed colonialism to have pauperized us to the extent that as intelligent as Nigerians are, sometimes we use that our intelligence negatively against our country. So when people are busy developing the natural medicines of their own country, the natural resources of their own country, to converting them into useful products to use in their country for the well-being of their people, for jobs for their people, for wealth for their people, what we have been doing is to criticize our own natural resources, to refuse to harness our own natural resources, and now sit down to be consumers of the products of the research and development of natural products from other countries. Now, we will look at it today from this angle, and I'm going to, because the time is short for me. Actually, this 1 hour is short for me. So I'll try to run through the slides that I have.
Now, you have all the time, sir. You have all the time, sir. You're not limited to 1 hour, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay, so natural medicine. Let's look at natural medicine. It has always been an integral part of any cultural habitat and its people. See, there is all of us who are on this call today, whether you are old or semi-old or young or Gen Z. You know, Gen Zs, they don't believe, they don't agree that they are old. So I don't know, so they usually categorize themselves as Gen Z, but there's Gen Z old and Gen Z young. In any case, whichever group or category you belong to, it is important for us to know our history. A people without history is a people without future. Our history, the history of Nigeria, the history of Africa, the history of the black man, the history of the world is such that human beings have always taken care of their ailments using the resources available in their environment. We call them natural resources. Whether they are plants, or they are animals, or they are animal parts, or it's water, or it's marine life, or it's even soil. We use all of these things to heal ourselves of ailments and diseases. From time immemorial, it has always been like that. So the use of remedies from either plant sources or animal parts, minerals or microorganisms or marine life for relief of illnesses arising from disease conditions predates history. The World Health Organization recognized this long time ago and decided to look at traditional medicine in a special way. So it said, look, that traditional medicine practitioners, birth attendants, traditional bone setters from different parts of our cultural communities have important roles to play in the health of our people. I mean, let's look at it, and because we, even though this is an international platform, because the command and control is Nigeria, let's use Nigeria, and of course Nigeria is Africa, so let's use Nigeria for example. If you want to know what people use for their health, go to our interior communities, go to our villages, where even if they're what we call maternity centers, and I am from a typical village. I'm from a typical village called Agaliga, where there is no general hospital. We have what we call maternity center. And that maternity center, for those who are conversant with what maternity centers are, they are not manned by medical doctors. They are manned by, if you have the best healthcare professional, it's going to be a nurse.
Yeah.
That means that, and if we don't have medical doctors manning it, you're not going to have a pharmacist because there are fewer than medical doctors. So it means that you are not going to have drugs there. So what do people use? First, children are given birth to at home through the help of the people we call traditional birth attendants. The drugs that they use, both for delivery and for maintenance, are also the plants and the herbs available in the community. And we have scientific evidence to show that these things work.
Yeah.
And that's why when people admit either, and I usually say that when I see educated people who badmouth traditional medicine, I categorize them into three. One, or all of these three. One, people who are mischievous. There are some people who are knowledgeable. They know it, but they are mischievous. They are mischievous because they don't want to see anything good about their country. I mean, it might sound exaggerating or sound funny, but the truth is there are some people that they are naturally made. The way they are made, they do not want to see anything good about their country. There are people who don't want to see anything good even about their family now. So if some people don't want to see their families make progress, so is it country or state or local government that we want to progress, or you, that is another family, are you the one that should come and help to make progress? No, now you can't love me more than you love yourself. You've got to love yourself before you love me.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, some people are genuinely ignorant. There are some people who are genuinely ignorant. And those group of people, they are not a problem to our society because it means they are available to learn. They are available to be educated. And you will see what the Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency, where I'm privileged to be heading at this time, is doing, especially in that direction. Then the third group are those who are stooges of other powers outside their own country in order to satisfy their greed and pockets. So, whatever you want to do to improve the nation through research and development of indigenous natural resources, these people who are very powerful, these people who are highly educated, these people who are also connected, these people, some of them who are also at the corridors of power, and who are the ones that have access to the authority, and the authority will not know that they are being greedy or deceptive, accept their pieces of advice, will do that in order to sustain their own business of destroying the system in order that they may continue to get benefits. These are the three categories of people. We might discuss it as we move forward. The spirit of the declaration of alma mater in the Soviet Union in 1978 is to encourage member states of the World Health Organization to use and exploit available resources in tackling primary health care. If you look at the right of my screen, my own right of the screen, you see a publication we made a few months ago with my colleagues, where we opine very strongly that the African heads of states have been emphasizing the need for local research and development for Africans to solve their own problems. In fact, if you remember, the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, when he visited Equatorial Guinea, Malabo, he made a statement that if you come to my office, you see we inscribe it there, where he said he was encouraging African heads of states to engage in deliberate support for research and development, and that there should be strategic and deliberate support for research and development, local research and development for local production. And he concluded, he said, because the solution to African problem is in the hands of Africans.
Yep.
That is the summary of the work of agencies that are involved in local R&D, such as the natural medicine, where I and my colleagues are from. It is estimated that about 75% of 120 useful bioactive plant-derived pharmaceuticals that are used worldwide were discovered systematically through from leads from traditional medicine. And this is important. It's important because when people look at, for example, when people look at white tablets and they think it's magic. I mean, I'm a pharmacist. I'm a professor of pharmacy. I'm synonymous with drug. My second name is drug. Every pharmacist is drug. That's what we do. Our life is drug. We can make drug from anything. In fact, we can convert human being to drug. I can convert any human being to capsule or tablet or injection or syrup. So that's what a pharmacist is built to do. So, and the skill is enormous in this country, I can tell you that. So, but when people see that white tablet and they think it's magic from heaven, no, it is not. They are obtainable from plants. A lot of them. Look, let me tell us, for those who don't know, even paracetamol tablet that you are seeing, we can get paracetamol tablet from plants. A plant called pineweed will make paracetamol tablets from them. And we have a lot of these plants in our own community. Study of naturally occurring compounds has envisaged impressive advances in all of these areas in in medicine, food, cosmetics, and natural pharmaceutical excipients. For example, Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava in the world. The only other country that can stand shoulder to shoulder with us is Brazil. But and cassava has a lot of starch that we can use as excipient in making drug. Excipient is every drug product. We actually call those tablets, injections, syrups, suspension, we call them medicines or drug products. The one we call drug is the one that has pharmacological activity, which is called active pharmaceutical ingredient. Now, for every tablet that you see, there are two principal components. What we call the drug, which is the active pharmaceutical ingredient, and then excipient, which is the non-pharmacological component, without which we will not make tablet or syrup for you. You need that excipient to be able, when we give you paracetamol tablet, that tablet on your hand, the reason you are able to hold it on your hand is because we have added excipient. Example, starch. If we don't add that excipient, you can never hold that tablet on your hand. It will be too minute that you can't hold it on your hand, and so you cannot use it. Now, cassava has a lot of starch, Yet, we import starch into this country to make our drugs. We import. There is, microcrystallized cellulose. We have produced microcrystallized cellulose to the pharmaceutical grade in this country, in our universities, in our research institutes, where I work, where many of my colleagues work, where we teach. Yet, we are importing microcrystallized cellulose into the country. Even though we have abundant raw materials where we can make these things for ourselves and make our own drugs. We will discuss it as we progress. There is no doubt that Africa is richly blessed with abundant natural resources within the nation's biodiversity and ecosystem. Okay, so and I'm not going to dwell on this, but for purpose of this discussion, let us know that Nigeria is over 200 million persons. Nigeria has over it is documented that we are about 250 to 300 ethnic groups. Now, 3 different data is available on how we rank on the analysis of ranking in healthcare among nations of the world, from 187 to 142 to now 149 out of 166, which is our best ranking currently. Okay, now, but let's use our country. If you listen to professional associations, our professional associations like the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, and all of that, all are professional. If you listen to them, you will hear the cry of the japa of how healthcare professionals are japping. Today, let me tell us one silent japa that is in our country that we don't even know. And I have had the cause to talk about it some time ago. This is another opportunity. The japa that we are complaining of is the japa where professionals or Nigerians, educated Nigerians or skilled Nigerians, then physically depart our country. That's the japa we are complaining of. For me, that japa is not as serious as the internal bleeding japa. There's what I call internal bleeding japa, internal japa. What is internal japa? Internal japa is where Nigerian intellectuals, and when I say intellectuals, please, today, I'd like to be heard clearly. I am one of those that get irritated when people call those who don't speak English or don't write English as illiterate. They are not illiterate. In fact, those of us who went for Western education, those of us who went to the university, we have degrees, masters, PhD, we are professors, who went to school using colonial curriculum, who went to school using colonial curriculum, and we are calling our people in the villages who did not go to that school, who speak Hausa, who speak Yoruba, who speak Igala, who speak Igbo, and they cannot write in English, they cannot speak in English. We are calling them illiterate. Whereas the skill they have, the technologies they have, the knowledge that they have, with our professorship, some of us don't know nothing close to those people.
Yeah.
So we are actually the illiterate people when it comes to those areas where these people are sound. So they are not illiterate. So when I talk about people who are moving and drove because they have skill, I'm not talking of Western trained professionals like the person who is speaking this afternoon. No, I'm talking of people who are knowledgeable. I hope you know me when Chinese come here, when Japanese come here, when people from Spain, when they come here, all of these people who don't speak English, Germans, when they come here and they come with interpreters, they will speak, the person who interpret, and when we speak English, they interpret for them, and it amuses us. We don't call them illiterate, but our own people, we are calling them anyway. If we have opportunity, we'll still discuss that. But the point I'm making is that the other said these people, they go physically, so they leave the country. They get gainfully employed in those countries and they work for those countries. So call it whatever name, they have left our country. They are now working in those countries. For me, they are not problems at all. Look at the internal Japa people. Those of us who are back here at home, highly knowledgeable. By the way, if you know the kind of intellectuals that we have in Nigeria and what they are made of, and they are staying here, we will bow for ourselves. And a lot of us are in this country.
Yeah.
A lot. So now, these people, and I am inclusive, what we do is, as a protection mechanism, because of lack of funding, and funding here is from two streams, because this area, I'm a pharmacist, like I said, and when we talk about funding, we know that major funding in the pharmaceutical R&D space in the world is majorly from private sector. Okay, so, but if you look at our country, everybody is looking at government. And where is the resources for government to take care of everyone? Whereas the private sector, they are busy thinking that it is not their responsibility to make any contribution to development of the country in the area of research and development, not knowing that they are the first beneficiaries of the results of research and development, because they are the ones that will go into the market. It's not government that will go to market. They are the ones that will benefit. They are the ones that, okay, companies that are declaring profits, that are selling shares, is it government that is selling shares? Is it government that is declaring profit? Government is social service. Government is not a profit-making organization. It's the private sector. That's why you see private sectors in other countries. Some of us, when we did our postgraduate studies on the bench in some of these developed countries, it was pharmaceutical industries that sponsored it 100%. But we are not doing it in our country. Okay, I hope we'll still be able to discuss that. But what I'm now saying in the area of this internal JAPA is, because of this absence of funding from the private sector and inadequate funding from government, what are intellectuals, what are technology-driven people and skilled people do is we write competitive proposals. Competitive proposals are proposals that if you go to the net, you see Every day, you will see announcement by different funders across the globe, either industries, faith-based organizations, foundations, investees, different institutions. They make calls, even families. They make calls that there is, for example, there is a 15 million pounds sterling grant available for those that can write proposal in the following areas. So when we write and you win, you don't leave your country. You are in your country. You won that grant in your country. But the research you are doing is not for your country. Let me repeat in case you didn't hear me very well. And many intellectuals or academics who win grants that are on this call, they know exactly what I'm saying, and they may not be happy that I'm saying it. But I have to say it so that we can move forward. Because if we don't identify our problems, we cannot solve them properly. When they win this grant, because the funder who made the call, who made the announcement, has already itemized the criteria that you must meet in order to win that money. When you win that grant, you are going to do exactly what you wrote in your proposal that you will do.
Yeah.
This grant is not the same as donation from development partners. No, this is competitive grant purely between the winner and the funder. So you stay in your country, you did not japa physically, you collected foreign money, you did the research, the data is for the funder, but you use your country's resources. Because you use your lab in your country, you drink the water in your country, you inhale the air of your country where the plants that we plant is generating the oxygen that you are inhaling. You go through the road that the country has been built. You enter the plane and enter the train in the country that has been built with taxpayers' money. So are you not a more dangerous japa than the person who has left, and we all know he has left? So all the things he's doing in that country, he's doing for that country. Are you not more dangerous? What is the solution? We don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are already countries that have solutions to this. Some of us have been privileged to train in some of these countries. So what government does is to establish national research fund. So what that national research fund does is it does not respect you, whether you are a professor or you are a first degree holder, or you did not go to university, or you don't speak English, or you speak English, whatever. It does not respect of what you are. What it wants is what the country wants. So the national strategic plan of the country will look at it and delineate it into different categories and say, okay, we have 100 billion naira as grant for researchers in this country. And this is what you are supposed to do. Compete for this grant, you win it. What we are interested from you is result. Not receipt for retirement. No, not receipt for retirement, where you will not do anything, but you will go and bring receipt. No, it kills skill and ingenuity. Result is your result that we want, and that result must be scalable. That result must be translatable. It's called translational research. So we will be able to convert your result, your data, to the research output that it will be a service or a product that will be useful to the country. And I can give so many examples of things that we can do in this country that we will solve all of our problems using this approach. Let's quickly look at some of the challenges of our healthcare system. No easy accessibility. Now, when we say no easy accessibility, is it not clear? If you go to our village, and like I said, I'm from a typical village. I'm a typical village man. I was born at home in the village. I was not born in the hospital. My brother, when you were reading my citation, you said I graduated distinction, first degree. You said I got best PhD award from University of Nigeria in our country here. First degree, not graduating distinction. A PhD, East, UNM. But I was born in the village by traditional birth attendants.
Wow.
I was not born in the hospital. I was born in the village. And there are many people who were born in the village. Okay? Now, let me say this. The people in our communities, most of our people in our rural communities, it is not because they don't want to go to modern hospitals. So one of the limiting factors is access. See, like I said earlier, in my own community, there is no hospital. From my village, Agaliga, to the general hospital at Okpo, which is the headquarters of Olamaboro local government, is about 20 to 25 kilometers. If you are truly sick in my village, will you survive 25 kilometers before you get to the hospital? So what is now? And the truth is that that is not the problem. We have the solution. Because culturally, our communities already have solutions to all of this. So what we do and what we are supposed to do, which is what we have essentially started in the last two years, even though we have existed as an agency for almost 30 years now, is to go to the root, it's to go to the communities, to develop this cultural thing that we have. Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with that system of healthcare. No, there's nothing wrong with that system of healthcare. All we need to do is having gone for Western education. And that's why I always say that even though I talk about colonialism all the time, it is not colonialism that is the problem that we have in the 21st century. Because many countries that were colonized with us have moved. So it is because we don't want to move. Okay? And that is why you see the speed that we are using now. And that's why you see, that is why I will, instead of going home to go and cry that my mother died a few hours ago, I decided to come and sit down here and talk this afternoon because it's our country. We cannot go out and be shining, and then at home we are behaving as if there is one cause or one witches and witchcraft that is bedeviling us at home. No witches and witchcraft is bedeviling us. It is attitudinal. So, lack of access. Now, for access, we must apply science, technology, and innovation for access in this century. And that's what our agency is doing now. That's why we came up with our roadmap and our plan, which is submitted to the National Assembly. And for those who may not know, in December, a few months ago, December 2024, the House of Representatives made a landmark resolution on natural medicine in this country. I will show you as we move on. So, access. So all we need to do, because our people at home, when they collect herbs, then they make concoction, it does not stay more than 2-3 days. Those that it stays, you will start seeing maggot in it. Then you will now start seeing those who went to school start complaining that traditional medicine is dirty, there's maggot, is fetish, is filthy. It is because what we are supposed to do to it, we are not doing. Apply science and technology to make it stable, to make it effective, more effective, to make it safer, and to make it appealing. We call it aesthetics. In industrial pharmacy, packaging is a huge area. And that's why you see a lot of the herbal products that come from other countries, go and see the packaging. They are more appealing, more attractive than many of the allopathic medicines that we even import. And so you see our people paying heavily. So, by the way, bitter leaf that we are the owner that my ancestors used cook bitter leaf soup that is our delicacy in Nigeria. Bitter leaf capsule is being imported into Nigeria now. Bitter leaf capsule, and then people cannot buy bitter leaf capsule because bitter leaf. So and it's very painful and annoying. Now, because most of these people cannot afford all of this, they now resort to what we have as our traditional medicine. I've said earlier that 40 to 60% of the pharmaceutical products we see today are drawn from traditional knowledge. Look at these well-known drugs: aspirin, artemisinin, vincristine for cancer, paclitaxel, quinine, digoxin for congestive heart failure. All of these drugs are powerful drugs were obtained from plants. And I can tell you, you see this artemisinin, it is a first-line drug combination now. Artemisinin combination is a first-line drug today in treatment of malaria. It's Nigeria. Are we not the owner of malaria? We are the owner of malaria. Yes. But we will be sitting down for people to make drugs for malaria. And we don't know that what we are doing is that we sit here not solving our own problem, then other people will solve the problem and turn us into the market on our own thing again. Oh. You are using malaria to insult me that I am a disease-infested country. Instead of me to make my medicine to kill that malaria, and if there is money to make it from myself, because my country is a huge market, I yield that disease to you again for you to go and make and come and use me as business upon my disease. You are also collecting my money upon my disease. It's painful. We should be angry with ourselves. And that is what we are. That's why at our agency, we are that's why everybody is talking. If you come to my agency, we don't close. We run 24 hours. And we don't make noise. Nobody is hearing us. Because you see these 2 years that we have spent in this agency, come to my agency, come and find out. Just send spies to come and find out. You see how orientation of people. I always say, when journalists invade me, because some of them, they are very smart, they hear things, and so they will be disturbing us. I tell them, when you come to the agency, because I lead my researchers in the lab. I lead my researchers. When they come, I tell them, I say, Lee, you see this Renew Hope? That coinage of Renew Hope is, we are the owner. We have adopted it. Because which agency is best to talk about renewal of hope? If it is not the agency that has to deal with it's something that our people have lost hope in, or something that our people are ashamed of talking about, which is our tradition. Which is our tradition. Many people are ashamed of talking about our tradition. One very renowned professor of medicine at the National Hospital in Abuja told me, he said, look, Professor Emeje, because you are shameless in talking about traditional medicine, I have joined your train to be shameless too. We need shameless group of intellectuals in this country to begin to talk about this. Today, I have about 16 professors of medicine on our team, and nobody is looking for anybody to pay anything. No, it's our country, it's our own contribution, and we are not looking for recognition, but we want to do it and do something, and that's why we are doing. I'll show you some of this shortly. So this is an exciting time, and one of the things that nature has done for us, we don't joke with nature. One of the things that nature has done is that economy in the world right now is in trouble. So it's not about Nigeria, it's the world. And because of that, people are thinking outside the box on how to solve their problems. In the health sector, people are running to nature. That is why you see that research in this area is now focused, even of developed countries. You remember when you were reading my citation, you talked about a grant that we won, sponsored by developed country. Sponsored by developed country on plants. You think it's because they like us? No, it's not because they like us. It's because they want to get something from our own natural resources. Yes, that's the truth. So we have to be smart on how we do it. I mentioned bitter leaf just now. Bitter cola is another one. And by the way, these are things that we have in these 24 months of our administration. We have launched products. Our minister, Chief Uche Naji, came here into Lagos in our compound here to launch the first 4 oral solid dosage formulation that Nigeria has ever launched and you will see them here. Now, so we know that Nigeria has a long history of traditional knowledge based on plant remedies. And this is passed down from generation to generation orally. Now, this is also one of the problems that we have, which we are solving now. It is being solved for the first time in the history of our country. And these are, I'm a scientist, so when we talk or we use references. So in academic sector, we say that if it is not documented, it was not done. You can say anything you want to say till tomorrow. If what you are saying is not documented, you did not do it. So similarly, when we work, we try to publish the work. We try to create patents. We try to create and document and preserve our copyright. You will see some of this as we move on. Because this is all of this intellectual property space is what we call protection. There are different protection mechanisms, including not even talking about it, what we call trade secrets. So if you come to our agency, we have trade secrets also, because there are some of our preparations that are peculiar to us, and you can't get it. You can't crack it in. So as I'm taking, if you look at the right of my screen, you will see that a publication that we made in this area is put there for reference purpose. So we are now trying to document. See, if you gain admission to the university to read medicine or pharmacy or nursing or law, any of these professional courses today, you will also immediately be documented by the professional group, the association or agency of that profession, of that group. So pharmacy, let me use pharmacy where I belong to. The Pharmacy Council of Nigeria has quota that it will give to every university faculty of pharmacy. If they say you are to admit 100, you can't admit 101. Which means they already know that they have indexed so number of students as they are entering the university. When you graduate, they know the number that have graduated because they have to be licensed. So there is data on all of us who are professionals. There is no data on traditional medical practitioners, the largest group of people that are taking care of health of Nigerians. And it will amaze you what we have done these 24 months in this area. In fact, we were asked questions when we made our submission somewhere that who gave you the funds, because and we say, look, this is like I said, this is our country, so we are not going to wait. We will do it. So we must document, because when you go to those Asian countries where we train, the major difference is documentation. Major difference between us and them is documentation. So when we are still talking about oral transmission, it is because there's no documentation. Now, our agency has started digital, and we are starting from the top. Digital documentation database of traditional medical practitioners in Nigeria and their services and the products. We have their GPS coordinates, where they live. We take, so all that information we are generating, and this is what we want to do for the entire country. It is for the first time that this approach has been tested in this country, and we have results to show to that effect. We conducted a study because as far back as when the African heads of governments met, they knew and they stated that, look, 80% of our people, they patronize natural medicines in different forms. By the way, so that I don't forget, natural medicine is not traditional medicine alone. Traditional medicine is part of natural medicine. Your religion is part of natural medicine. There are many people, when they are sick, they go to their spiritual leaders. There are some people, some kind of sickness they have, they don't go to hospital. They go to their spiritual leaders. And whether we like it or not, they get healing. They get resolution of their problems, some of them. So this is natural medicine. Sports is natural medicine. So when you hear people talk about yoga, that is because they call it yoga in India. We also have, and we have our own name in the different dialects in Nigeria. These are all natural medicine approaches. So because for almost 50 years, there has been this data that 80% of our people patronize natural medicines in different forms. What we did was to do a pilot study using a small group of people, but Western trained people. All the people working at the Federal Secretariat in Abuja, we gave them questionnaire to respond to. And it is amazing the result that we have. Because over 50 years ago, there was studies that showed that 80% of our people use traditional medicine. In 2020, between this 2023 and 2025, when we conducted this study, our study shows that among the civil servants in Abuja, Federal Secretariat Abuja, 97% patronize herbal medicine, natural medicine in different forms. And that's the result that you can see on my slide today. Okay, now let's look at what we are now doing to break the ice. We are trailblazing in this area. If you remember, for those of you who remember, the Minister of Education, Dr. Alausa, launched a national skills acquisition program where there is now a form of education and training for people who are not of Western training, who don't have to be in the university or polytechnics. Vulcanizers, traditional medical practitioners, welders, artisans. It's now properly organized. In fact, I had to send a message of congratulations to the Minister of Education that day because I was very excited. And my agency, in recognition of what we did in just 1 year in office, we were awarded as one of the institutions to be responsible for this program in traditional medicine. Because immediately we came into government, we started a college called the Nigeria College of Natural Medicine. So the first College of Natural Medicine in Nigeria is at NNMDA. And we are fully accredited by the National Board for Technical Education. So we run a 2-year program. So what's special about us? You don't have to have any 5 credits. No, you don't have to have 5 credits. You don't have to speak English. And you don't have to be a professor or PhD holder or degree holder to be a lecturer in our institution. No. What we need for you to be a teacher is skill. So a traditional birth attendant is qualified to be a teacher in traditional birth attendant. A traditional bone setter is qualified to be a teacher in bone setting. It's not professor who read textbook of bone setting and who has never seen fractured bone before. No. It's practical knowledge. So now we are in fact, now we are in the process of, I have started talking with Professor Ogbonna, who is the DG or Executive Secretary of Nigeria Institute for Languages, because I got to know when we went for training in Badagry that there is a Nigeria Institute of Languages with professors in about 9 or 10 different Nigerian languages. So we are going to partner to ensure that teaching is done in our dialects, in the Nigerian languages, so that our traditional medical practitioners can come to this school for training in quality, in packaging, in hygiene, so that when their products come out, it will compete with any product from anywhere in the world, so that as we are using, because we too, we are human beings and we deserve good things of life. So we will make it for our people, Nigerians, to use. They will be happy. They'll have well-being. They will know that, yes, it's truly a renewal of hope. Then we can now begin to think of foreign earner in terms of export. That's why I'm showing you this slide in terms of the massive training that we are doing in that area and certifications that are coming up. Further challenges include some of the challenges that we also face, but which we are now dealing with. For every of these challenges, we also have the antidote, and we have essentially implemented or operationalized that in the last 24 months. When they talk about lack of transparency and effective communication, I was privileged to do a presentation at the United Nations House in Abuja on a workshop organized by World Intellectual Property Organization. And one of the foreign dignitaries, the white person that came, said that one of the problems of traditional medicine in Nigeria is secrecy. And I responded. I told her that, is there no secrecy in modern medicine? There is secrecy. What is patent? Patent is organized secrecy.
Yeah.
Patent is organized secrecy.
Yeah.
So nobody should say that, why shouldn't a traditional medical practitioner be secretive? So we are working with our traditional medical practitioners. We are designing our own method of protecting their own intellectual property. It does not have to be the American method. It doesn't have to be the Canadian method. No, we are not Canadians. We are not Americans. So that is part of what we're doing. We are collaborating seriously with ourselves, different agencies, institutions, and then fortunately, also some foreign academic institutions that are open-minded in this area. We're also working with them. So in terms of, if, for example, in authentication of our biodiversity, we are collaborating effectively with De Montfort University in the UK in that area, and it's a wonderful thing. Some of our staff go there on the bill of not of the country, of the university, and some of them come to our own country here in exchange of those ideas. So we must work for formal recognition of our traditional medical practitioners. And that is why I put NNMDA awarding body status. Because that is how, you see, for the first time, government deliberately is saying, traditional medical practitioners, we are recognizing you. Because that's the first step to getting it. So we have scored a big goal in that area. It is implementation. So let me quickly now tell you about our agency. What I have done is to summarize, is to try to look at the role of natural medicine in advancing public health, the potentials, the benefits derivable therefrom, and the challenges that are daring and which we can also deal with, and for which we already have evidentiary method of dealing with these challenges. And in fact, some of these challenges, some people are speaking to us on how we came about some of these platforms already. And we are telling them that before we can speak to you, you have to sign some certain non-disclosure agreement with us. Yes, the time where we think that when somebody from abroad is saying, I'm going to buy ticket for you to come to a conference, then we are happy because they have bought ticket. The time is gone. Don't give me ticket. I know they come. So our agency is called Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency, NNMDA, established in 1997. So you can see in the next 2 years, it will be 30 years old. And I want to say it here that it is the act establishing it was passed in 2019. That's the ninth assembly passed the act establishing the agency. It is to do all of these gamut that you see enumerated here on this slide. We are responsible for this. We are present at number 9 Kofi Abayomi in Lagos, Victoria, Ireland. We are squeezed in that place. If you know what we can do, they will be looking for space to give us so that we can explode. We are actually squeezed in Victoria Island. We shouldn't be staying in Victoria Island. We are trying to collaborate with governors across the country. So we have presence in Kano, Jos, Damaturu, Yobe, Ondo State, Ebonyi, and Cross River, and all of that. Those are the places where we are present. Country. I just try to show. Before now, a lot of people say they didn't know about the agency, but now we have over 1,000 hits on our website every month. I think ICT said every month. I'm not sure if it's every month or every week, but now that's the kind of thing that's happening to us. And we are doing where people are sending message to us. If you go to our website, all information, we are one of the most transparent institutions in Nigeria. Anything you want is on our website. Anything you want. And you can send message to us on our website and you will get a response. Everything, email, we operate digitally as an institution. We operate digital. Nobody is going to wait. One HOD is not there or DG is not there to sign one file or the other. No, we don't do that. We do emails. There are departmental official emails. The official emails to the DG offices, official email to Savicom, to Act2, the anti-corruption unit, all of that. So you can, and you get your response immediately. That's how we operate, because we need to do that. We need to do that. There's no way they are doing things well that they have two heads. And there's no way they have two heads. In fact, if we were to do laboratory analysis of brains of Nigerians and many of the places people are doing things well, our brains are superior to many of them. I'm sorry to say that without apologies, even though I say sorry, but that's the truth. So this is how we are made of. We are made of all of this. Now, what are the specific areas that our research is currently hot? Very hot research that we are currently doing in these areas. And cultivation of medicinal, aromatic, and pesticidal plants. That we have a very ambitious plan in this. Our roadmap is drawn. We have submitted to the National Assembly. In fact, the House of Representatives Committee on Legislative Compliance was here in our at Kofo Abayomi after the House resolution to visit us, and they were impressed. The documents are there. So research in livestock. So our research here, so you see, so our work includes both research and development from plants, from animals, from soil, from water, marine life. And we make natural medicines, not for man alone. We make natural medicines for animals. We make natural medicines for plants. So we have natural pesticides, natural herbicides. Yes, natural insecticides. And I will show you some here now. So vector control, glaucoma, arthritis, prostate and breast cancer, hypertension, erectile dysfunction, pharmaceutical grade starch, microcrystalline cellulose, gums, anti-snake venom. By the way, I'm privileged to, like you said, you cited in my citation, to be sitting on the WHO expert committee on TPP for snake envenoming, sickle cell disorder. We launched a product for sickle cell. I always tell people, I am the only scientist in a government scientist in the public sector that followed from the lab down to putting a product in the market. Yes, launched, signed off to a Nigerian pharmaceutical company, and it is in the market right now for sickle cell, Niclovix. So when I got this appointment 2 years ago, it didn't take me time at all for me to rally my team, wonderful team here in Lagos, wonderful team, sleeping in the lab. And we launched 4 products, including a very powerful anti-sickling natural product. We have. When I see the way some women come here and they come and kneel down and be crying, cry of joy. One lady came here, one woman came here, leading and say for the last 10 years that this is the first time that her child did not have crisis. What other satisfaction as a pharmacist am I looking for in this world, that I made a medicine that another person is using and he is saying that it's my medicine that is making him or her to be alive? There's no satisfaction. Nothing else can give satisfaction more than that. And that's how we are operating here at the agency right now. So look at this. I told you earlier, these are evidence of what we have done in 24 months, 2 years. So 2 years. So when by the time we do our 4 years, you will be looking for where to put evidence. 2 years. Look at from National Board for Technical Education, accreditation for our college, first college of natural medicine in Nigeria. Look at from Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. In the 30 years existence of this agency, we got accreditation from Pharmacy Council of Nigeria to train pharmacists. Look down my right, you will see a lady and a young man. That young man came to this agency from the Islamic, from the Saudi Arabia, Islamic Republic of Saudi Arabia. The Islamic Development Bank of Saudi Arabia sponsored him for a postdoctoral fellowship at our agency. Yes, it has not happened in this country before. Please verify. Anybody who has received it all the way from Saudi Arabia, you have received in any institution in Nigeria, you have received a postdoctoral fellow. You see, when people say, in those days, foreigners used to come to Nigeria to do school, to do this, to do that. Some of us, we are receiving foreigners. It's just that because we are a research institution, we don't go around shouting. It's results that we talk. If I did not have this opportunity, I will not be blowing this result today, and you will not know. And it's not everything I'm going to say today, because I know that we are not going to stay here till tomorrow, so that some people don't get discouraged. So, but look at, he spent 12 months with us. Let me give you the shocker. He spent 12 months with us. On the 10th month of staying with us, because of what he learned in our agency, he was picked by a genetic research institute in Pakistan Yes, Dr. Roko has gone to Pakistan and done another training and returned to. I will not be surprised if he's on this call this afternoon from wherever he is in his in the world. Now, there's also something we did, which people thought that it's only the private sector that should do. We pride ourselves as the first public institution, first government institution to do that. Yes, because and we are not unaware of any other government institution who tried to copy us and they couldn't do it well. I said, let's rub minds. Then we share. It's called peer review. You share experiences so that what has been done, you don't reinvent the wheel. I copy what you have done. You copy what I have done. We adjust it so that there will be no plagiarism and paste it appropriately where it should be pasted so that it will elicit the desired outcome in your own environment. So we launched an ambassador, a Gen Z ambassador for traditional medicine, because we know that one of the ways to renew the hope of our people, a potent mechanism, is the youth. Is the youth. If we don't use them, then there will be, and I'm going to say this because if you notice, and this is not to badmouth anybody's program. If you look at the attention that BB Naija is attracting, you wonder why. So when you deliberately go out for Gen Zs that chose this area that is not attractive to people, then you will achieve big results. And so we got this young girl and inaugurated her as natural medicine ambassador. She's an artist. And so anywhere she goes performing today, she talks about traditional medicine. She talks about natural medicine. I also told you earlier that now we protect our inventions, innovations, and discoveries. It may surprise you to know that before these 2 years of this administration, our agency did not have a single invention, innovation, or discovery protected. None. But within 2 years, we now have. We now have. Yes. And that's the evidence you are seeing there. Now, on my right, you can see the House of Representatives, Office of the Clerk, the resolution that was made on 11th of December 2024, the need for Nigerians to promote and prioritize natural medicine. This is one of the best things that's happened in this country. In fact, this is one of the best things that's happened in this country. And I am proud, privileged, and fulfilled to be the DG of this agency at the time this happened, because it is my advocacy. I and my team, it is our advocacy and cry for help while we are working that the House of Reps listen to. They listened to, they passed this resolution, they followed it up by visiting our agency and told us to submit proposal. We have submitted proposal, and we told them that what they have seen that they are very happy with is just microcosm of the macrocosm. It's just look what we can do. Try us and see now. Look at, see, many people in many places that I've made presentation and I show this picture and I just ask question. If this was a physical meeting and I ask question now, people will start saying this medicinal plant is in India, China, Brazil. They will be calling other countries. Nobody will call Nigeria. But this is proudly NNMDA medicinal farm in Plateau State. Yes. Yes. It's our farm. It's our medicinal plant. We cultivate it. We are proud of it. We harvest it. When we harvest it, we make our medicines from it here. And I will show you the medicines here now. We make our medicines because we planted it, we took care of it, we cared for it, what we call good agricultural and cultivation practices. Good agricultural and cultivation practices. So we know exactly what we planted because we know the qualities that the box must be checked when they come into our warehouse. That's what you are seeing there. Look at what we make out of those things. When we go to our farm, so we don't go to the bush to collect plants. No, because that is when people say, one of the problems of natural medicine, traditional medicine, herbal medicine, all of this is lack of standardization. I just laugh because why are you saying what you don't know? I'm a professor of pharmacy. If my car breaks down on the road, I will call a mechanic, and that mechanic is likely not to have even gone to secondary school. But I don't know how to repair my car. If you disturb the mechanic, he will leave you there and you will be stranded. So let people concentrate on, let all of us concentrate on what we know so that our country can move forward. Don't be bad-mouthing what you don't know. Some of us, we became professors and we went back to class for further studies. Look at our lab. Look at, those are my colleagues working deep there in the lab. Look at our drugs. So when you hear that traditional medicine, however, is in concussion, this is concussion that we have converted to Nigerian flag color. Our color, green and white. That capsule you are seeing. See, one is green and white, the other one is full green. These are our drugs. Our drug, and our minister has launched it. And it's in our herbal, the first government-owned herbal pharmacy in Nigeria is in Kofa Abayomi here. And as you can see on my slide, evidence protection from Ministry of Trade, Investment. We also collaborate. You see, because in academic research, collaboration, it can never be too much. Nobody knows everything. Nobody. In fact, when you see anybody claiming to know everything, run, because the person does not know anything. The person is a killer of ideas.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. My name is Tosin Olayinka. I'm a co-host of this event, and it's been a very interesting time with you. Just that we just want to give some other participants opportunity to ask their questions. So I don't know if you may probably summarize and probably conclude, sir. Yeah.
Okay. I'll summarize now. Okay, so let me quickly run through maybe in the next 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so you can see our collaboration with Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, Obafemi Awolowo University, and University of South Inton. Then we collaborate with them, and we do a lot of work. We win grants together and go around the country, north, south, east, west, all the parts of this country, and we go. And we also started a collaboration with Alimosho local government. You can see that we deliberately told the local government to give us this waste area so that we can convert it to, then you will see on this slide evidence of our collaboration. You see that is the deputy governor of Bayelsa State when the agency went there in collaboration. You see the military, the police, immigration, all of them. Now, this is when the House of Representatives visited us. That is the chairman of House Committee on Legislative Compliance. Look at him there when he took the inauguration as a natural medicine ambassador for Nigeria on behalf of the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Abbas Tajuddin, PhD. And you can see the honorable member in our pharmacy, in our pharmacy. This is the first public herbal pharmacy in Nigeria. We are proud of it. We established it in the last 24 months. Today, our researchers are all over the globe. They speak now. And anything I say are things that have not happened before. I don't have time to talk about the things that we have improved upon. I'm talking about the things that are a new initiatives that we have done. For example, our staff, they never went out to other countries. Now they go, they are fully sponsored on grants. not on our budgetary allocation, because if you wait, then you will not do anything. So that's just to show that. These are down to also tell you, because I know that there will be academics on this call, to also tell you that we publish in high impact factor journals, good research and when we do our research, we convert it into a product. Any research that you do that cannot be converted into use by the people in the community, you are just entertaining yourself in the laboratory. At the agency, we don't entertain ourselves. We make sure we attend to the community. That's why you have product for malaria. These 4 products for malaria, look at them. And for our information, we are on perfect synergy with the National Agency for Food, Drugs Administration and Control. You know, one of the greatest supporters and advocates of traditional medicine, indigenous medicine, natural medicine in Nigeria is Professor Day of NAFDAC. So we synchronize effectively, and we work together to ensure that our country begin to have its own product. So these products that you are seeing, they have NAFDAC listing registration. So this is you see our product for malaria, you see our product for diabetes, you see our product for erectile dysfunction, so that you don't need to go and be swallowing. All the people who have used our product, they have gone off the use of sildenafil or any other of that. So these are things you see all of it for cancer. You see prostate cancer and breast cancer. You see our management of vaginal infections, herbal tea even for animals and other arthritis. You can see our arthritis product is one of the hottest products. In fact, a lot of the people there's nobody that has used our arthritis product that does not tell us that, look, that one of the best things that has ever happened to them is that they use this product, our arthritis product. So we tell people that in 24 hours, we tell people that in 24 hours, you get result. 24 hours. And we have a lot of evidence to that effect. Now, look at for tropical, for animals. You know that Professor Tahiru Jega is a brain, is one of the biggest brains behind the livestock ministry today. We are in contact with him. You can see him giving me, on this slide, you see him giving me some of his wonderful publications and outcome of the studies they did in this area before establishing that ministry. So we have told him that we can provide solution using natural medicine, so that we don't need to import any chemical for all of that. So these are all the things we make in our agency here. This is evidence to show you that Chief Uchenna, our minister, came to Lagos here to launch our products, launch 4 innovative products, first in the history of this country. First, not just in the agency in this country. So that's what you are seeing here. It's not foreign. What you are seeing here is not abroad. It's here in Nigeria, in Lagos, Kofu Abayomi, our product in our own pharmacy here in Nigeria. That is what we do. We are proud of it. Looking forward, these are some of the things we want to do. Our own spin-off, pilot plan, pharmaceutical grade, and then to become a center of excellence to attract intellectuals from different parts of the world. And that's why we are putting all of these things together. People may ask me, how did you do? Did the salary of your staff change? Why are they fully motivated? Look at my staff here. During Christian fasting, we all fast together. During Ramadan, we all fast together. You can see us breaking our fast in the agency. All Christians and Muslims, we are all human beings here. We do not judge ourselves by where we come from, our religion, our creed, and all of that. When we came, we met bush in all our research farms across the country. You can see the bush, evidence of the bush or fallow land on the left, and what we have now, if we did this 24 months, what we have as our research farms. Those are the things you see there, you see there, you see there, you see there. Thank you. The man who farms as his forefathers did cannot produce much food, no matter how rich the land is. or how hard he works unless he changes the strategy. The
Wow.
strategy of our healthcare, which we have been using for the past 100 years, if we don't change it, we will not have headway. We have to change it. And to change it, we must change our scope from importation, from allopathic medicine, from foreign medicine to our own natural medicine. Thank
Wow.
you, and God bless you.
Wow, thank you, Prof. To be honest, it's just as if you should go on and on and on and on. I can attest to it that a lot of people are giving you heart emoji, clapping for you, giving you thumbs up, and a lot, just to show a kind of accolade as regards what you are doing. I'm sure you can see it as well. Just that because of our time, I may not be able to mention their names. It's been lovely to have you here today, and I'm sure that you've enlightened us as regards looking within in terms of our trado medicals. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate you. In order not to deny many of our participants the opportunity of asking questions or probably giving their submission, on this note, I would like to move forward to call on one of our own, and it's no other person than Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, is the Director General of Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN. Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, you have the floor now, sir.
Now, my brother.
Thank you so much, Tosin, for that and for the opportunity. First of all, I want to appreciate the organizers of this program, my own brother, the leader, and also everybody within the Renewed Hope space. Yeah, so Prof, Prof has said it all. You heard him when he says, "Now my brother." So Prof is somebody I've known, in a personal capacity and also as a professional, as a DG within the science and tech, agency. We've had reasons to work together, collaborate together, and also share ideas. And I must say, is somebody that I've known very, very well. I know you sound like a herbalist. The way, very passionate with natural medicine and all that. He's a professor. Like you said, he's a professor, in pharmacy and all that. So he's not a herbalist, but just a professional. He's also very, very practical. Just to say, very, very practical. He do what he says. I recall that when I was the chief of staff to the minister, in 2023, I had the opportunities. He came to present some of his products and all that. And, me and the minister were also very practical, being science and tech. So I told him, let me have some. And he gave me, a leaf, this regular leaf. I don't know the color. And I used that product and I came back to him. I said, please, I need more, cool that. So he's somebody, and I know that, some of our leaders here would like to have that. I won't tell you what that leaf is for, but you can guess as much what that is for. It works perfectly, very natural, very strong. And I had to, and the minister called me, tell him to get us more. Very natural, no side effects. So I think it's something that's very, very recommendable. I want to recommend that to Adebola himself and also our leader, Prince Ademole. Get, in touch with this man and tell him to give you that leave that he gave to, Mustafa and the minister that day. Prof is also somebody that, when he talks, because of his passion, you think he's fighting. But it's just the passion he has for what he does. When you say natural medicine, one may wonder, why do we even need natural medicine and all that? There's a reason why our forefathers actually live very, very long. There's a reason why, without having all these Oyibo medicine, and they're very strong. They live very long. They work distance without getting tired. They don't complain of piles, like we do. And they're very, very healthy from history, histories we know. So I believe it's high time we go natural. It's high time we look at our tradition and go back and see what it
God
is
bless
that
you.
we're not getting right. How do
Thank you.
we, scientifically, because this is not
Yes.
just
Yes.
doing things, without knowledge. This is a knowledge-based and proven, patented,
Yes.
technology, traditional, medicine. We have to look at, how to go back to those olden days and do things. And I try to do it myself. Yes, I'm a professional technocrat, on energy matters, but I try as much as possible to, like you said, do not just yoga. My basketball is also, as for me, it's traditional because there's nothing, you know, unnatural about that. So all we do is to try to go natural as much as possible. And in era of cooperation, I do recommend every agency, not just within the science and tech, to collaborate with this man because we have a lot in common and a lot to learn from each other.
Thank you.
We
Sir.
really, really need to promote our agency, our natural medicine agency.
Thank
He has so many patents, and what we
you.
don't see is really commercialization.
Yes.
I've seen it firsthand. The minister have seen it. We've got so many products that has been proven, patented, but we don't see them in the market. I don't think there is any medicine in this world that we don't have the natural source.
Yes.
Everything you see, we have natural source. And we must
Yes.
begin to promote our products. We must domesticate, we must localize our technology. And this is what he does. This is what he believes on. So I don't want to take our time too much. I'm on the road, like you see, but I just want to commend you, Prof.
Thank
Keep
you
doing what
very
you're doing.
much.
Well done.
Thank you.
You have us.
Thank you.
Just like
Thank you
you're
very
my
much.
brother from Kogi
Yes,
State.
so thank you for your support
Just know
all the
that we're
time.
here to always support
Thank you.
you as usual.
Thank you.
Call on us
Thank you.
anytime when you need energy for your natural medicine. Call us, we'll give you more.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
very
much,
much.
and
Thank
I
you.
appreciate the opportunity. And
Thank you.
bye for
Thank
now.
you very much. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much for the comment, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi. On this note, I will also move to call our other participants. I would like Alaji Tauda to get ready, and Mr. Emmanuel Adeshite to also get ready, and also Mr. Ikanke Ibia to also get ready. So, Alaji Adams Dauda, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, VVIP, Professor Martin.
Good evening,
Accept my condolences of
Thank
the
you, sir.
passing of Mama.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. May her soul rest in peace.
Amen.
On behalf of all the teams here, thank you for answering our call.
Thank you, sir.
You're unique to us.
Thank you, sir.
I agree with everything you've said. From what I've gone through, and I'm a baby boomer like you. I wasn't born in the hospital.
Oh.
So everything you have said is totally, I'm converted. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
To the natural medicines.
Thank you.
And in fact, my compound in Lagos now have been converted into half herbal and half fruit.
Excellent.
Which I believe in because people come into my compound and they found a plant called a Banimonda plant. And they started picking it and eating it. I said, what are you eating this plant for? They said, it's for blood pressure. Is it? And it's growing widely in my compound. Okay, what I've done, I pick it. There's a lot of plants in my compound which I've, documented now. So everything you have said is correct. Even a friend in this conference today asked me to get a papaya wax from papaya. I said, what do you need that for? I know about the papaya seed that you can use it. It's got medicinal. And I know about the papaya peel, the green peel that is used in the food industry for tenderizing meat.
Yes, meat. Yes.
So these are all the natural growth things we have. As a son of a farmer, I know about all these things, but I don't know how they use them. So I thank you for your collaboration, especially I'm from Alimosho local government.
Okay.
Thank you for the collaboration. But what I must say is that we've lost a lot of plant and fauna, which naturally grows. Because when I go to the farm, a lot of them, when we're going around the bushes, we can find them. Now they've gone. So how you can collaborate and then try to resuscitate some of these plants in a dedicated area that people can use. Yeah, that would be very good. So thank you for the work you are doing.
Thank you,
and
sir.
thank you for the presentation you've given us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Alaji Adams,
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you, sir. And maybe I should just quickly say that he has dropped something that I said earlier that is very important to us. Otherwise, we will lose our biodiversity. You see, every community in this country have diseases peculiar to them. And for that community, the solution to that disease is also in that community. It is for us to use science and technology to identify them. So that's why in our roadmap, we want to have medicinal and aromatic pesticide plant farms for each of the 774 local governments. When we do that first, then we now go down to the electoral wards. So if we get to a community where, for example, when I paid courtesy call on the Oba of Lagos, and he told me the plant they use for diabetes. All we quickly did work on it, got it, developed it now in capsule form. Then we will cultivate abere plants and in a scientific way. In that case, you will not lose our biodiversity. So we need to do that at the community levels. And I bet you it is a humongous way of generating job and wealth in the country.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, sir. At this point, I would like to yield the floor back to our chief host in person of Ambassador Adebola. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, my learned colleague, for that brilliant input. I think with the way we're going now, the 2 hours we earmarked for this will not be enough for what we have now, because we have a lot of hands up. And then I think that will take, because I need to respond back to some of the things that our special guest said, because he shows that he just proved the reason why he came highly recommended for this party for today. And he has shown us that he is a man who knows his onions. But before then, I need to acknowledge the presence of a VVIP who has been a regular feature on our program week in, week out. It's like I used to say to everybody, you can't come any bigger than that unless you are the president himself. So he is the chief of staff to the president, the Right Honorable Chief Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila CFR. Oh. He's on this program today. So thank you so very much, sir, for always being there. He was here last week and he's always been there to support us and to support our special guest. That's what he does all the time. Oh. So thank you so very much. There are some other VVIPs that I will mention later on. But I just want to touch on some of the things that you said earlier on in agreement to your submissions, because I had the other who spoke earlier, and he too agreed with some of, because you said certain things that resonated with me, because I remember growing up. I'm a Yoruba man, but I was born in the north and I grew up in the north. I had a sister who just died 2 years ago. No, aunt. She's an aunt who died 2 years ago. I remember when I was in primary school in the 1960s. She had what I later on found out to be breast cancer. I never knew what it was then. I was just a child, just looking, They called somebody who was always sitting on, it's an Hausa man. He was always sitting under a tree. We call them Danwanzam. And anybody who speaks Hausa will understand what I'm talking about. Danwanzami means somebody who shaves people's beards and stuff like that. And when you have like, what's it called? Blood clots in any part of your anatomy, they'll come with horn, maybe dog horn, whatever horn, and put some kind of incision on that area. They'll blow it out and stuff like that. That's what he does. And he does circumcision too. Yeah. He sits under a tree. Under a tree. that was Zami. That's what they called them in the north.
Okay.
They called him on that day. The reason they called him was because my aunt had a twin, right? That was born in 1968. Those twins, both of them died. And they sort of found out that the reason they died was because they were sucking on her breast that seemed to have been contaminated.
Oh.
So they called this man. The man was just almost opposite their house, just sitting under a tree. They called him, and what he did was, as a child, I just sat there, in the 1960s, just looking at him. What the hell was he doing? It was this Islamic plaque.
Yes.
About. Yeah.
Yes.
So he wrote some kind of Islamic inscriptions on it. Yeah. I cannot forget this. I'm talking 1969, 1970 now. Is what I'm talking about now. So I want people to pay attention to it. He wrote something from the Islamic Quranic, whatever it is, on it. Yes. And he gave it to my aunt, and he went away. Yes. He said she should wash it into a bowl.
Yes.
She did, and he asked her to use it to wash her breast.
Yes.
As a child, I was, very curious kind of child. We were sitting there looking at her, and she was using it to wash her breast, and we saw some ants, what looked like ants, coming out of those breasts.
Okay.
Can you believe that the husband to that woman died over 20 years ago? And this woman just died 2 years ago. It's only now. At that time, I had no idea what the whole thing was all about.
That's the point.
Only now that I came to, because I'm living in the UK now, that I came to understand that what she had then was breast cancer that killed those children. Now, this is I brought this on for people around the world to understand what traditional medicine means and the benefits to our people. So, you being a professor and now talking about this gives me confidence to be able to talk about. That was why I wouldn't have been able to talk about it, because somehow I'm thinking maybe it's kind of myopic in me thinking about that.
It's not.
But you being a professor and talking about natural and medical medicine made me to think about that, to say, you know what, a lot of things that we have that we have been neglected to our own detriment. I just thought I should put that on so that people to understand what. So I think I have your permission now, because even though we tried to start our program for 2 hours, but because I wanted you to express yourself enough, and you spent a lot of time to do that, we have a lot of hands up. So I hope you give me the permission to give them all.
Yes, please.
Yes. Time. Yeah. Yes. So that I hope Madam would not be she would not be mad at us for taking
no.
So we will try as much as possible to allow people to ask their questions, because this, as far as we're concerned, is a program where people need to learn. And you coming on now, as far as I'm concerned, I remember in the 1980s we had this professor of homeopathy. I'm sure you understand what that is. Who came in the early 1980s and said he had an antidote for, I think it was AIDS, and it was shouted down by the regular NMA guys and all that.
That's it.
I was young at the time, but I knew, you know what? Why don't you allow this guy to come up with whatever it is his goal? So that is why I kind of resonate with what you're talking about here now. And I bless God for our president, who has given you someone like you the chance to open up our minds now, to say, you know what, not be all this chalk because my old man who never went to school knew some of the things we're talking about.
Correct.
He never went to school all his life.
Yes, correct.
But sometimes when he has certain elements, he will tell you, use this, use that, and it worked.
Yes, very well. Very well. And COVID-19 era was an example.
Yeah.
COVID-19. I have a lot to say. COVID-19 was an example.
That's what I'm saying.
Our curriculum is, look, I'm a pharmacist. Nobody teaches this thing in pharmacy school. Nobody is teaching it in medical school.
I know.
So our curriculum is a Igbo curriculum.
So you coming on this program for me is an eye-opener to Nigerians across the world. I hope our people will learn. Again, I give kudos to our president for bringing someone like you, for giving you the opportunity to head that agency, because it is because you are heading that agency that we are able to call you on now to come and enlighten our people to say, you know what, not every time when I go to chop short, when I go to chop shock. I want to speak Yoruba now. No be chalk, be the something. Sometimes agumu, you know what people call agumu? You know, you put it some kind of a concoction that you put in your akamu in the morning and you drink it. It works wonders with no side effects. So thank you so very much for bringing all of this on. So I'm going to hand over again back to my. Now, before I do that, please let me quickly acknowledge the presence of some VVIPs that have been able to identify. Whilst we're going on, I'll bring in more. We have on I have already announced the Right Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila CFR, the Chief of Staff to the President, and my co-host has already introduced Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, the Director General of the and CEO of the ECN. I always say to him, until he came onto this ECN, the only ECN I knew was the Electricity Board in those days. So for you to understand, I'm old school. Now people of these days, they know NEPA. We will not know NEPA. Now ECN we know those days. So it was when he came, he now made ECN to, made it trend. We now understand that it is the Energy Commission of Nigeria. So thank you for him, because he's a diasporan too. He's always coming on our program to support our special guest. So thank you. And we thank him a lot. And we have Professor Adesegun Labinjo from USA on this program. We have Dr. Michael Tomori from Unilag. We have Dr. Sylvia Okoro from Abuja on this program. We have Honorable Oladapo on this program. We have Dr. Michael Tomori from Unilag as well. We have Engineer Bola Babanides from South Africa. We have Honorable Emmanuel Etim. He was one of our special guests here sometime a couple of months ago. And ever since he's appeared here, he's always coming every week to support our current special guest. So kudos to him. Thank you so very much, sir. We really appreciate your presence here, sir. God bless you. And we have Professor Tijani, the Executive Director of OGP Africa. I'm marking him down. We're going to bring him in here. He's been running, but he cannot hide from me. I'll pin him down one of these days and bring him on this program too. Because this program is all about enlightening our people, let people know what is applicable out there. Because the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And that is what we are trying to eliminate here, to make our people to be aware. Because a lot of people who are, you see, you will not believe that a lot of people don't even understand what this president is doing.
Yes. Many
people don't have a clue.
Yes.
Well, all they see is people shouting a big power.
And then they join.
Yeah. Stupid.
Which is the problem I'm suffering in natural medicine. Because those people who don't even know what natural medicine is, the moment they see somebody say that natural medicine is juju, they will follow them to say it's juju.
That's crazy. You see, I used to say to some of our friends that until the advent of social media, I never knew that we had so many. I'm trying not to use a derogatory word now. So many uninformed Nigerians until the advent of social media. That is why we set up this, so that we can educate our people to let them understand that
very
sometimes you don't have to go with the crowd. When issues come up, use your analytical mind to digest it. Ask questions.
Wow.
Thank you so very much for this. So I'm just going to hand over back to my co-host, Barrister, my learned friend, Barrister Tosi Olayinka. You have the floor now, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Chairman, Ambassador J.K. Adebola, for the time once again. Yes, as I move forward to call some of our participants who have been waiting, we have Emmanuel Adeshite and also Ikanke Ibia. Then I will want Engineer Bola Babarinde to get ready, and then Gabriel Shodainde. So, Mr. Emmanuel Adeshite, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope
Good
I'm
evening.
audible.
Yes, please. Go on, please.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be part of this program this evening, and a special thank you to Professor for this wonderful presentation. So I have a couple of questions for him. In the area of ulcer, I don't know, what are they working on? Because this seems to be one of the things that is dealing with most Nigerians. And if you look at it, people tend to want to go towards prescribing drugs for themselves, and this is not too good. And then in the area of product availability, I'm just trying to see how do they make all these drugs available in pharmacy stores near us, so that we will not fall into the hands of fake products. And then when we get this product, how do we identify that this is actually from your agency? And then lastly, I would like to find out when we talk about scalability of production of all these your products, are your members aware of the funding windows provided by this administration, talking about credit card, Bank of Industry, and the intervention funds by CBN? What are your members doing to ensure they tap into these opportunities of funding to be able to scale this product so that it gets to everybody in Nigeria? And then on a lighter note, how do we get these leaves across to every other person as well?
All right. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Emmanuel Adeshite. Now I move forward to call Mr. Ikanke Ibia. You have the floor now, please. Can the admin please help unmute Mr. Ikanke Ibia?
I'm not sure if he's still there.
Okay. I will move on to call Engineer Bola Babarinde.
I'm not sure he's still there too. Just give me a second. Let me check.
Okay.
No, it's no longer there. Yep.
Okay, sir. Yes, Mr. Van Gabriel Shodainde, are you there, sir?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, I will ask him to unmute now. Yeah. So can you please unmute, sir?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Prof, for that detailed, what do I say now? Detailed presentation of what your agency is all about. Yeah, of course, nothing could really be compared to all this natural medicine, because if you call it that, because in the olden days, we know our forefathers, they don't even know anything like all these pills or whatever we use now. They need to just get these apps together and they go on. Fine, it's good enough that it is not being refined, that it comes in form of tablet, it comes in form of that. And is that why what I really want to point out somebody, I think the first speaker actually said something about that, which is the easy access to that, and to make sure we are not getting adulterated, and perhaps maybe
why are you coming? Yeah, you should talk.
Sorry?
You can go on, please. That was an interruption. Go on, please.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah, and maybe another way, maybe if on your website, if it could be possible to place order on the website where we can see all this, where all this are stated, then because even people buy all these herbs, medical herbs from China, from whatever, they order it online and they use it. So if we make it easy such that people have access and there's publicity, so that people are aware about this, that we have this alternative available, then of course it will be a better thing for the citizenry, particularly now that even the Orthodox medicine is out of reach of many people. Yeah, I wouldn't know what the cost will be, but definitely, again, to bring this thing into the market, to let people get better benefit of it, then we should look at the costing aspect so that the cost is not enough will not be this incentive for people from participating. But definitely, I know nothing could be compared with it. In the past, I've just some of these herbs, and they work fine. We know in those days, even they say, oh, just go and get a dongoyaro leaf, even when you have fever, and when you just boil it and you drink the water, you will sweat and the fever is gone. So, but then these are just example of what these things can do for us. So I quite appreciate what you are doing. It's highly encouraging that we have people who are passionate about this type of thing. And of course, this will even save Nigeria a lot of foreign exchange that we spend on all this alternative medicine that we keep on importing at exorbitant cost. But for people who are treating cancer, who are treating so many things, if you know what they are spending, people cannot even afford it, and they're just dying for nothing's sake when they have something that could easily save them. So thank you so much, Prof. We so appreciate what you have done, and we commend you highly. And thank you to the.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Shodainde. I'm sure you're gonna get the response to that in due course. I move forward to call Mr. Adeboye Adejare, while I want Mr. Akeju Note 8 to also get ready. Mr. Adeboye Adejare, you have the floor now.
Okay,
please.
yes.
Okay, go on, please. You're on.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please.
Okay, yeah. Yes, actually, I'm Professor Adeboye Adejare. I'm from the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy. Yes. Prof. Yeah, I'm also online. To briefly introduce myself, I met Professor Emeje at a NAFDAC workshop. I was one of those brought in for a NAFDAC workshop, and we met in Ikeja, and we've been in touch since that time. Thrilled to be. I got this announcement just this afternoon, and I said, hey, I have to join.
Thank you, Prof.
It's been great. Sorry about the loss of Mama. And
yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
I like your analogy about being at the battlefront and saying that, okay, you just lost a soldier, but you got to keep the battle, you got to keep the fighting going on. And so you're still coming on board.
Thank you,
thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Just like to commend the synergy between your agency and NAFDAC.
Thank you, sir.
Because the Nigeria as a body, as you know, NAFDAC has moved to level 3, which is giving
ML3. Yes.
which is giving it a lot more credibility.
Correct.
And Professor Adeyeye, who's also a colleague of mine, we were both here in the US. We met her 30 years ago easily. And with that level of synergy, I think there's really great opportunity to move natural medicines forward in Nigeria. I know time is running out, so I'll stop right there and say that yes, even here in the US, there's a national institute. There's a national institute on complementary and alternative medicine through the NIH, which the goal of that is to, scientifically examine these alternatives, which, can be beneficial to humankind, all in general. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you. Yes, I call on Mr. Akeju Note 8. Please help unmute Mr. Akeju Note 8. You have the floor now.
Prof, I think I really enjoy your lecture.
Thank
it's
you,
very
sir.
enriching.
Thank you, sir.
And I wish you more success in your work.
Thank you, sir.
I think I'm also getting worried when we refer to our natural medicine as being alternative. I don't think it is alternative. It is natural and organic. And I think it is something that people, our forefathers, are using, and that is what actually they depend on. And I remember in those days, I stayed with some people who actually practice this kind of organic medicine, like understanding some of these plants, that can be used for different purposes. When I was young, I remember eczema was a very big problem in my town, Ife, at that time. And there were some leaves that you just need to squeeze the, the juice or the water there. And then you use it to rub that part of eczema. And within 2 or 3 days, the thing it will melt out. But the problem now is most of these plants or leaves are getting extinct. I really want to know what the Prof is trying to do to ensure that these plants are actually sustained, to actually serve the mankind, because God actually created it for us, created them for us, and then we should take advantage of them. Then the second layer has to do with your product. And I think your products are very, very good. But I think we also need to escalate them to a very commercial level. And I want to know, what are you actually doing? I also want to know what you're actually doing to partner with some of these pharmaceutical industries, to be able to take that product to commercial level so that everybody will have access to those products. And finally, many people wouldn't know that it is your agency that actually pioneered Zobo in those days. Zobo was actually packaged in the form of Lipton tea. And I think your agency did that sometimes many years ago. What is the position of that now? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I believe probably Prof has dropped off. I'm not sure if he's back online. Prof, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here. I think I missed his question.
All right, sir. Welcome back. Yes, I'm not sure if I should start from the last one, or probably you want to start from the first.
Okay, you want me to respond now?
Yes, sir. To the first four, then one will go to the other part of the participant. And well, I was doing many things in between. Mr. Keju Note 8, he commended, he commended you for the work that you've done so far. And he also mentioned that how can he have access to the product. Then also from where I could catch while I was juggling between what happened, he also spoke about the position of Zobo, the naturally made product that he knew that you pioneered it. That what is it about it at the moment, sir?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for all the questions. It seems, okay, I believe I can be heard. So
yes, sir.
Thank you for all the questions. The first one on by Mr. Dr. Emmanuel. I will call everybody doctor, which is a normal thing we do when we don't know your title. By Dr. Emmanuel, ulcer. We have a product for ulcer. On that pharmacy, herbal pharmacy that you saw on my slide, there's a product for ulcer. So there is it's not an issue at all. We have product for ulcer. Product availability. Now, if during my presentation, I had earlier said that the first and only government-owned health product, a phytomedicine, herbal medicine that is currently in the market, in the hand of a pharmaceutical industry, is called Niclovix. I was a research fellow for 21 years at the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development. I was responsible for the transfer of technology to May and Baker. There is no product in Nigeria owned by government that is in the market. I did that. And that's why I pride myself as the only person that had that experience in the country. Now, the reason it is available is because a pharmaceutical industry is making it and selling it. No government research institution or agency like mine is capacitated to do both research and marketing. Marketing is not our area of expertise. Our responsibility, as it is all over the world, is to do the research, develop, do proof of concept, do pilot scale at the best, then hand over to the industry, the private sector, for commercial production for availability. That is how it is done. And I have the experience. I have done it in this country. Full experience. I went through all the everything that is involved. So in terms of availability, once any of our product is taken by the industry, it will be available. Yes. Then identity. In terms of identity, you see, it is not easy to fake natural products the way you can fake all these foreign products. Yes, it's not very easy. It's difficult. And it is, you see, getting natural product into a dosage form is not like getting the white powder that is synthesized and you go to a tableting machine and punch and get your tablets. So it is, once a product is developed by a herbal industry, it is most unlikely that it will be faked, except if the producer himself is the one that adulterates. And we have one or two practitioners who adulterate their product with some foreign or allopathic medicines for ignorance. And we know how to fix those things. It's called phytovigilance. A big area that NAFDAC and my agency are collaborating and partnering today is called phytovigilance. That is to be vigilant on herbal medicines that are in circulation in the country. We know a lot about all of these funding institutions, unfortunately, and I'm very happy. I think I'm blessed that the Chief of Staff to the President attended my presentation, because this is the first time I'm opportune to make a presentation where that kind of person has listened to me. So I know that it won't be the same for my agency again. So in terms of assessing all those, it's not easy to assess. But when you have someone like the Chief of Staff to the President, you can assess it. So I believe that you can assess it for us. And I'm 24 hours, I'm ready. Then Mr. Dr. Venerable, access, you also talked about access and adulteration. I think I've addressed that. Can you order from our website? Like I said, we are a research institution. We are not allowed to be selling drugs. No. When we license our drug, let me give you a typical example. You know, we took the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine in Nigeria. If you hear the name AstraZeneca, Oxford. AstraZeneca is a pharmaceutical company. Oxford University is the academic partner of that industry that work together to produce that vaccine. So in the same way, when my agency partners and come up with an efficacious and safe product like this, the industry is now responsible for marketing it, like I said earlier. But we can do something which is called social production for the sake of the people that, because for you to be a responsible and responsive institution, the people that live in the environment where you are must feel it. Look, one of the reasons people that are in VI know that this government is performing is because of my agency, because they can walk to our pharmacy and get a product, which never happened before. So it cannot be done on profit basis. It is to do it, to be able to continue to produce. That's why it's called social production. To be able to do it so that you can attend to the people that are within the environment, your catchment area. Publicity. Well, we all know that publicity is expensive. If I tell you that the budget of my agency is 300 million naira to 800 million naira, will you believe me? That is why one big government official asked me one day, say, Prof, how are you getting money to do all these results that you are showing us? My capital is between 300 million naira to 800 million naira. And in fact, the 800 million naira is this 2025 that we got 806 million naira. If not, it's a 300 million naira agency. How do you do research with 300 million naira? And then before you talk of publicity, who is going to publicize you? So, and cost, in terms of cost, you can be rest assured. You can't, there's no way we will make our own medicine and it will go and become costlier than imported medicine now. If it is, then something is wrong with us. Then Professor Adejare, thank you very much. He's one of our potent supporters in the country. In fact, there is an initiative that the agency is putting up called Diaspora Initiative for Natural Medicine. And Professor Adejare is one of the people that are helping us to drive that. We want to get all our people that are in diaspora who want to support natural medicine development in Nigeria without looking for remuneration. Yes. And Professor Adejare is one of them. Then Dr. Akeju, thank you for the commendation. I think access, I have responded to the access. And then the person who talked about Zobo, if you come to our pharmacy, you will see our Zobo. We have two Zobo preparations, one called Zobo tea, one called Zobo granules. We don't call them Zobo, we call them our own names that have been protected in the Ministry of Trade and Investment, but these are Zobo facilitated products that we have for different disease conditions in our community. Thank you, and over.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Now I will call on Dr. Sylvia Okoro, and I want Mr. Emmanuel Clements to get ready, and I want Professor Tijani, the Executive Director, OGP Africa, to also get ready, and Dr. Moses Afolaranmi also to get ready. Dr. Sylvia Okoro, you have the floor now.
Thank you so much, moderator. Thank you so much, everyone on the group. Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much for the professional and scientific way you presented today's topic. And my name is Dr. Sylvia Okoro. I'm actually a medical doctor with a PhD in public health. So I'm also a believer in orthodox medicine. I'm also believe in our natural medicine as well. And I have two questions. And the first one I'm going to mention is in line with what you rightly said. Why this hesitancy? Why this gap between the orthodox practitioners and the natural practitioners? But I'm so happy that you're so balanced. You're also a scientist and you still believe in our natural medicine. So I'm going to be speaking from the orthodox point of view. The question I'm going to ask. One is, you mentioned one of the gap is in terms of absence of sound biotech lab, which of course I'm happy your agency is working and you're working to get to this state-of-the-art biotech lab to look at our product. I'm so happy we are moving that, because actually one of the challenge that we're going to be having. Now, I can say the mechanism of action of a particular drug, right? The pharmacodynamics. For instance, Avomine. I'm using the common word, Avomine. Yes, we already know what it does. I can actually say, this is what Avomine does as an antihistamine, right? And then it controls nausea and vomiting, isn't it? But you know, like you pointed out, bitter leaf is also another natural product that has such effect. In fact, growing up, my mom actually did this, and people are vomiting, and you give them bitter leaf and it stops. But at that point, comparing it with Avomine now, what is the mechanism of action of this bitter leaf? At what dosage? at what, and so that's actually the problem that I think we'll be having with natural product, the dosage, the indication, and all that. So if that can actually come in, I think it will definitely come in, and then your agency will now have to find a way of bridging this gap, integrating orthodox medicine with that of natural medicine, because I strongly believe, as is done in traditional Chinese medicine in India, that the best physician are not just those who just prescribe drug, but people who also prescribe drug and use things like nutrition and this natural thing to take care of their patient all over the world. That's best practice. So I would like, Prof, for you to look at that and tell us what you're going to do. And just like the last speaker also said, I remember that the last speaker talked about, you can hear me, the last speaker spoke about the efficacy and how sure these modern plants that we have today, can we really say that in terms of properties, they still have the same properties considering man-made activities as compared to 20 years ago? For instance, I give you an example. When I was small, my mom goes to the kitchen, she buys this pumpkin leaf, she puts in the water turns green. And I remember what I learned in school, chlorophyll. Oh, this is chlorophyll, this is it, it's rich. But Prof, sir, the plant and the pumpkin leaf that we have today, as used by fertilizer and all that, and you're using, does it still have the same properties like our forefathers were enjoying then? How many milligrams can you get to solve this problem of arthritis? And that's where all the funding is. So finally, my profession now, preventive medicine. As a public health specialist, I know that prevention is the cornerstone of public health. How can natural medicine be integrated into preventive healthcare? Because it's so worrisome how diseases are now transiting into non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension. And that is why you see these foreign supplements, foreign companies making billions of dollars because the baby boomers want to take supplements that will prevent disease coming. Of course, we know that a lot of disease can be prevented. And that is one area of money-making machine that if your agency should concentrate in coming up with preventive natural healthcare supplements that we can be certain that when they use it, it can prevent. Then this whole patronizing those Chinese drug supplements and all the supplements in the name of all this networking and all that, and people are believing it. I think that is where we can actually get it right. So I really need you to react to all this, Prof. Sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Sylvia Okoro. Can we have Dr. Emmanuel Clement, while I want Professor Tijani, the Executive Director, OGP Africa, to get ready, and also Dr. Moses Afolaromi. Dr. Clement Emmanuel, you have the floor now.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much, Prof, for that message. And then my condolences. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so I thank you, Dr. Sylvia. She has also reduced some of my questions, actually. So I will go to just look at some of the things. I think some of them will be suggestions and some of them will just be questions. So basically, I'll start with how do we move from knowledge-based studies to evidence-based studies in terms of traditional medicine? Why I'm saying this is like, we have issues like we are just telling people like this thing works, but we have not seen it work on anybody. Understand? So the things that convince people is that maybe we introduce something like a randomized control trial where we say, okay, because I know this is what the Western people do more, and then they would demarcate what we are doing in Africa. Yeah, so they come in like a randomized control trial, where a clinical control trial where they will introduce this medication to a group of persons, and then they use this group as a control, and then at the end of the day, they will speak to results and not just knowledge. Understand? They will speak to results, not just knowledge. They're not just telling you that this is like this, this is like this. So you're saying it that this actually worked on these persons. So that is one. How do we move from that knowledge-based result to evidence-based results? So where we can, so that the people can actually see it for themselves. And then I also talk about we cannot talk about the traditional medicine without talking about the traditional healers. So I heard Ambassador talked about one man who healed the elder sister some years back. Sorry, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please.
Okay, so please, yeah. So now I don't know for sure. We have lost that man who healed his sister without transferring that knowledge. I call it a gift and it's a talent. So basically, and those kind of people should be like, so that knowledge should not just be lost. So what are we doing as a nation to recognize these people, to bring them on board, to ensure that this knowledge are transferred? Basically, most of them did not go to school. They're not pharmacists, but they have this knowledge locally. Maybe they got it from their fathers or their forefathers. So how can this knowledge be transferred? So that is part of it. And then talking about AI. So we need to also move from where we are to where the future is also going, because, to be sincere with you, for knowledge to be transferred, basically we have to move with the trend. Basically, we know that social media is what we can use now to drive either awareness, and then the youth and the young people, the older people, most of the young people and the other people are leveraging on the social media or AI. So AI, so we also need to see how we can leverage AI to improve traditional medicine in Africa. And then so government involvement, what government does, when government involves in a thing, it increases or it improves trust. So if government talks about traditional medicine, I believe it will increase trust by some percentage. So that is one of it. And then talking about, finally, I will talk about national call to identify traditional healers. So we cannot throw away these facts. What are you putting on ground to see, okay, let's see a national call to identify? So these are basically my suggestions. Basically, I think we can also do to improve traditional medicine, because we know there are people in this country who are doing a lot of healing work, and you cannot take that fact away that people patronize, just like you said in your study, that 70% or more than that patronize traditional medicine. And we cannot just throw that away. We have to look for a way to see how to bring in traditional healers as part of the system to ensure that it is either you improve their knowledge or you try to train them to improve what they are doing, the services they are rendering. So how do you put out this call to identify traditional healers? Maybe each state, 36 states should be able, you should be able to identify 2 traditional healers where people can
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. Just because of our time and also the other participants who are waiting. Yes, I'm sure Prof is gonna address all the points you've raised and also the questions. I move forward to call Professor Tijani, the Executive Director, OGP Africa. Prof, you have the floor now, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The name is Akim Ibikunle Tijani,
Thank you very
Office
much,
of Global Partnerships, Morgan State University, and a visiting professor at National Open University of Nigeria. I will save for another time 2 troubling words that came out of the last 2 speakers. And there's some speakers, orthodox.
I will reply it, Prof. I will reply it, Prof.
No, okay, you want to tackle them, okay?
Yes,
Because I don't know why we are calling African medical doctors as healers, and then we refer to the Europeans as orthodox. What is orthodox? They stole this idea, and on that premise, I want to congratulate you, sir, Professor Emeje, and our dear brother ambassador for continuing, for sustaining the paradigm shift never witnessed in the history of our nation. And that is one thing that I've always, along with the folks on the dons for PBAT, USA, Nigeria, that I happen to be the convener and the founder, to preach. One, your ideas are laudable. Please, and for those listening, you have to key into the diaspora bridge. Okay, there must be a synergy between your agency, your ministry, and the Ministry of Education. The diaspora bridge, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. I was back in Abuja. Second, there is always an alternative funding. We can discuss that. I can tell you how I survived establishing 2 critical departments and centers that are still thriving today, getting alternative funding right here in Abuja, and how they continue. I would like you to please share with me how I can get these ulcer leaves. I have, in a critical condition this morning, 2 postdoctoral fellows, one from University of Sokoto, I don't want to mention their name, and then another one from Gombe State University that were rushed and it's ulcer, so if my voice is not that laudable, I have to drive from my house to tell them to get 911 and forget about insurance. They have no choice, they must treat you. So please, I need that. We must not stop advocating. Advocacy and informal education. So I'm appealing with you, Prof, to liaise with the National Orientation Agency. We did this under COVID. And I love it when you said, for you to be able to provide a sustainable healing medication, you must understand the culture. You must understand the people. You can't survive it. Under COVID period, there was this Nigeria COVID-19 Research Consortium, and we had 8. And I was a member of the social science group. I was actually the co-chair for that group. So we married together science, European-based, as well as science, Nigerian-based, and the culture of the people. And we make provisions for how we resolve it. So we can do it. I will strongly advise you, sir, to patent. Do not allow the Chinese to steal this idea. And I'm saying it with us. I have no apology, please.
Yes.
Do not allow them. They are doing amala.
Yes.
They are cooking amala now. You won't believe it.
Egusi now.
So egusi, everything.
Yes.
Lastly, please create a kind of relationship between your agency and the universities, polytechnics, and the College of Education for entrepreneurship. Open doors for internship. The vice chancellor will not come to you. The rectors will not come. The provost will not come. That was my struggle as a DVC way back in 2011. And I returned to Nigeria on a straight 10 years period. And since 2020, I've been going forth and back. I've been to Nigeria 4 times this year, okay, supervising doctoral students. They will not come, but you have to go to them and tell them, go to the advancement office, go to the student affairs office, tell them about the opportunities. And then part of the alternative is that when you reach out to, say, for instance, Johns Hopkins or Harvard Medical School, they will bring students to your agency for what we call study abroad. And you make your dollars. You improve the economy. That is what is unique about this government. The first government in the history of Nigeria, and I can tell you I'm not less than 60, I'm a young boy, and I've taught in Nigeria. For the last 37 years I've taught, I've been a DVC, a dean, what have you. That the moment you reduce I'll call it tension, you ignite the fire, then you begin to lose strength. But again, I commend you. I thank you, Ambassador Adebola, you are just spot on. And Prof, there's a picture you can't see the way I'm throwing that kisses to you because I'm blocked.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, sir.
If I may just butt in, Barrister Tosin, please give me one second. If I may just butt in here.
Right, sir.
Thank you. Kudos to Professor Tijani for that expose. I just need to put one or two things because me, you see, they say there's no experience like personal experience.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's one or two personal experience that I really want to throw in here. Perhaps maybe that will help you based on what Professor Tijani just said now. Me and my older brother, we had a workload at different times in Nigeria. I was in Nigeria then. He is not a pastor. I'm not. But he had his workload before me. Okay? Now, what happened was, when I had my workload, I was in Jos at the time, and I went to the general hospital, and the doctor then operated on my hand without anesthetic. At the time, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but now it doesn't make sense to me. Now I'm in the UK and I'm like, why would anybody? By the time, I didn't know any difference. He slit up whatever it is, and now what happened was every day I was told to come to the hospital. They will open it up, dress it up, blah 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 blah, and all that nonsense. A week after that, the whatever was opening up, and I got frustrated, and I said, "You know what? I'm not going back to the hospital anymore." Guess what I did? I sat at home, opened up the bandage, and I started. I didn't even wash it. I just started applying Vaseline. I had Vaseline. Put Vaseline on it. I bought a plaster. Within a week. This was something that had been treated on the hospital. Within a week, boom. Now, contrast that to my older brother, now I learned from his own. That was what I did. That was why I did what I did. What I learned from his own was when his own happened before mine, he came to spend holiday with me, and that was when he had that workload. So he was in, I think, college or whatever, technology or something like that in Lorry at that time. So he was in the motor park in Kaduna. And one of the touts, listen to me to this story very well. One of the touts in the park saw him. You know, Wuklo hates the sun.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So when it was sunny, the thing was biting him hard, and he put his hand on his head. So one of the touts saw him and he said, "What's going on with you?" And he mentioned the Yoruba name for it. Right? I can't remember the name now, but he mentioned the Yoruba name and said, "Okay, that's what the problem he has." You know, he now said, "Okay, bring the hand." He gave the hand to him. My brother, I'm saying, I need to emphasize that he's not a pastor now. He believes in what I'm talking about now. He gave the hand to this guy, and the guy spoke some kind of incantation to it. Traditional incantation now.
Yes.
And spat on the hand. And he said as soon as he spat on the hand, he felt like he had, what's it called now? You know, when you put your hand in the freezer, in the deep freezer. He said that was what he felt. And he said everything just dried. And that was it. He said he felt a relief, and he was concerned, and he said, that was something he had never felt for weeks. He now said he wanted to give this guy in appreciation some money. The guy refused.
Yes.
He begged him for hours. The guy said no. Yeah. At the end of the day, he said the guy now said to him that he inherited that power from his grandfather. And the warning that the grandfather gave to him was the day he collected money from anyone for healing them, that is the day he will lose the power. What do you say to that, sir? I just brought that in now for you.
Yes.
Put that into context, into what we are talking about here now.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Senior Barrister J.K. Adebola. Prof, before you address the questions and the submission, I just want to move on to the last but not the least batch. To please get ready. We'll call you shortly after Prof addresses the concerns we have on the table at the moment. I want Dr. Moses Afolarami to get ready. Also, Dr. Clementina and Alaja Aulad Sule. Please get ready. Prof, you have the floor now, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much again for all of you who have made comments and or asked questions. Let me start from Dr. Okoro. Gap between natural and orthodox, and I'm going to address that with Professor Tijani's, who wanted to answer the thing I was preparing to answer. When you say orthodox, conventional, there is no problem. The reason you are saying that is because that's what you know. You know, it's what we know we talk about. You can't give what you don't have. Like I said earlier, our curriculum for training is colonial curriculum. You see, the training of a doctor in Nigeria, the training of a pharmacist in Nigeria. I'm a pharmacist too. I was trained I trained in Nigeria, and I am still teaching pharmacy now in Nigerian universities. What we are teaching, they call it international. We are calling it international because it is for international. It's not for us. If you go to Asia, where I have schooled, there's what we call Bachelor of Ayurvedic and Medical Sciences. That is Bachelor of Indian Traditional Medicine. You get degree in Indian Traditional Medicine, Masters in Indian Traditional Medicine, PhD in Indian Traditional Medicine, and Professor of Indian Traditional Medicine. In fact, natural medicine, traditional medicine is not in the Ministry of Health in India. Neither is it in Ministry of Science and Technology. It's in its own ministry called Ayush. Ayush is Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. It's an abbreviation for the natural medicines of India. It's full ministry. In China, it was in 1949 that they moved the traditional Chinese medicine from Ministry of Health on to presidency straight. So they bought this presidency. So the point I'm making is what you are, the training of those people is for their own people. If we were training our people, if our curriculum was for our own people, you can't even Japan. How many Ayurvedic doctors in India are Japan? How many TCM doctors in China are Japan? Where are you Japan to when you are not useful in that country? You are trained to treat your own people in your own country. So there is and I have said it severally. You know, I was a vice chancellor very short. It was just a new university pioneer, and then before I took this job, there is a need to overhaul the curriculum of education in Nigeria. And that is what I believe the National Skills Qualification Scheme, which the Minister of Education just launched, is going to deal with. It is not at degree level, but at least it's going to take care of the vocational part of our education, artisanship, and that's where traditional medicine belongs. I'm answering that at the same time with how are we going to harness which I said earlier during my presentation. So that's where it is, that's where it belongs, and that's how we are going to deal with that one. Now, I also said that we are, you see, when you talk about mechanism of action, Dr. Okoro, what is the mechanism of action of Alefo, Bitali, Ugu, garden egg, carrot that you are always you are eating every evening and every afternoon? Because you are a medical doctor, you are always eating fruits and vegetables. What is their mechanism of action? You see, that is what colonialism has done to us. Because You have gone to school and you have been taught in that particular way. Anything that is not the way you were taught in school, you now think that is not good. It is not the responsibility of those people to come and design the analytical procedures, the protocols for us, because it is not their own. They have done for their own. It is our responsibility as African scientists to develop protocols for ourselves. When the Chinese developed their protocol for TCM, when India developed their protocol for Ayurveda, the world was insulting them. But if you go to India and China now, I was in the same class with Europeans and Americans in China and in India. Yes, a lot of them are studying Ayurveda, studying TCM, studying Mosibistin in those countries now. If you go to UK now, there are a lot of homes, Ayurveda homes in UK now. In fact, some of our big people in Nigeria, they visit Ayurvedic homes in UK. So, my sister, the mechanism of action that you are talking about is because you are emphasizing the chemical mechanism of action. There are three ways to look at mechanism of action: physical, biological, and chemical. Because of time, let me just tell you that you are a doctor, so you are familiar with clinical trial. Clinical trial is biological mechanism of action. If you give when Prof talked about randomized clinical trial the other time, in randomized clinical trial, it is not everything you do laboratory test. Some of the investigations you do are based on clinical judgment. As a medical doctor in clinical trial, you are looking at your patient in the RTC and you are documenting what you are observing. In fact, when you talk to seasoned medical doctors, they tell you that their clinical judgment is more trustworthy than any other assessment, that the lab is only helping them to take decision, that they don't base their decision solely on lab. What does that tell you? It tells you that it is the behavior of man when you administer something that you document as the activity of that agent. Let us stop overemphasizing the use of NMR, HPLC, UV, and all of those analytical machines or facilities that are limited in terms of their ability to investigate natural products, because those equipments were not produced for natural products. They were produced to look at single entity product chemicals. So once you are dealing with multi-component products, the machines get confused. So the best thing to do is, what is the biological response to the animals that you administer that in and to the human being that you administer? And that is what we call reverse pharmacology approach to drug development, which is what we do in natural products investigations. So mechanism of action. Dosage is not an issue at all. I just showed you, I don't know if you were there then, I showed you the products we launched in capsule dosage form, in tablet dosage form. So dosage is not an issue at all. By the way, the reason you are also talking about dosage is because you were taught in medical school that colonial method of dosing. Look, the woman in the village who is giving a particular preparation is going to tell that person, you are to take this cup in the morning before the sun goes down, or in the afternoon before the sun, the shadow on the person gets to this. What is dosage? Dosage is to achieve a uniformity of the desired amount you want to deliver. Dosage does not mean that you have to go to any machine to go and punch something. So in traditional medicine, there is dosaging, but it is not Oyibo dosage. Therefore, it's our responsibility to document the way we are doing our own dosage so that it can be standardized. That is what we are supposed to do. And that is what NNMDA is doing right now. Preventive medicine. You say, how do we integrate natural medicine with preventive medicine? Natural medicine is the only now.
You know, natural medicine is holistic medicine, preventive medicine. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay. So it's preventive medicine already. So it is your foreign medicine that should actually try to get yourself to work with us. And I have about 16 people, medical doctors of your type. So please join our train so that we can work together. NAFDAC and my agency, we are looking at the possibility of starting clinical trial of some products now. You know that NAFDAC is the supervisor of clinical trials in Nigeria, and we are working together in that area. So if you join us, we will be able to do all of this together. Preventive, when you hear that as a doctor, your Hippocrates oath, what is it about? Man, let thy food be thy medicine, let thy medicine be thy food. That's preventive medicine. So in natural medicine, we emphasize. That's why if you come to our agency, you see a lot of teas. Our teas are prepared in the dosage form for which is preventive. Because for each product in that tea bag, the number of phytoconstituents, you don't know, it can be 2 million. Unlike when you take a tablet and it's only one chemical that is inside. Now, that is the reason why it is also difficult for resistance to occur in natural products, because the organisms are always confused which of the agent to fight because there are too many. Okay. Now, let me go to Dr. I hope I have addressed Dr. Okoro's issues. So there's no problem of dosage, indication, and all of that at all. We carry out all preclinical investigation using animals. We develop full preclinical dossier and develop our drug master file in order before you can go to NAFDAC. Okay. And by the way, you heard Professor Adejire talking about NAFDAC going to ML3. There are not up to 5 regulatory agencies in Africa that are on ML3. So Nigeria is not a baby country when it comes to regulation, as we are talking today. We better talk, because it's only bad things we know how to talk about in this country. Good things people will not talk. Dr. Clement, how to move from knowledge to evidence-based. Again, this is a comment of based on your training. When you say move from knowledge to evidence-based, what is evidence? Is evidence the one you were taught in school? Evidence is that you can prove that what you are doing is what is doing, and it will do that thing all of the time the way you want it to be done. When my mother fry akara, he does not use thermometer. He uses onion to determine the temperature of the oil, and he gets the same quality of akara all the time. Must he use thermometer? Please, let's decolonize our brains. Okay? For me, once we can document these things, and then we can start doing them in what we call total quality management approach, then we will get out of the woods. So randomized control trial. We will do randomized control trial. Yes. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's just like when you hear of history of use, when they tell you what is the safety. Please, what evidence do you want to know the safety of bitter leaf? That is what the Chinese call history of use. When there is a history of using a particular plant as a part of condiment or diet for 2,000 years, you want me to go and administer that to an animal to know whether it is safe or not? You are just generating data. That is why if you look at NAFDAC's requirement for clinical trial, you see that some of those things we are adapting it to our own situation. Okay, then AI. Okay, and what is natural medicine? What are we doing in terms of traditional medicine? I told you earlier we have started the first digital database for traditional medical practitioners in the country. We have started it. From the laptop in my office, I can tell you where traditional medical practitioners are in a particular local government in Oyo State, because we are done with that one. So once we are capacitated in terms of funding or sponsorship by private sector, by anybody, we will be able to cover all the almost 9,000 electoral wards in the country. Then, in terms of artificial intelligence, I agree with you that we need to apply artificial intelligence. And by the way, the intelligence is artificial. And if it is artificial, it means it's not up to natural intelligence. Because it is natural intelligence that will create artificial intelligence. So we have to also know that it's not as if something has come that it will remove us from having our own intelligence. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is already being used in natural medicine, especially in high throughput screening. And we are already deploying it here anyway. Government involvement is encouraged. NNMDA is a federal government parastatal. So government is already involved. So government is involved. Yes, fully involved. Government is even leading it. Government is driving it. This is the first time that government agency is driving something as if it's a private sector driven project. Professor Tijani, thank you very much. You see, when people say orthodox, alternative, conventional, and all of that, it is because they don't know. How do you call something that is a minority complementary? How do you, that is a majority complementary? How do you call something that is majority alternative? It is the smaller one that is alternative. It's the smaller one that is complementary. So allopathic medicine, that is what we call the drugs that we are importing that are synthetic. They are called allopathic medicine. It is actually the alternative to our own natural medicine. And please, you may want to look at the resolution of the House of Representatives in December last year. They agreed totally with me, and a resolution has been made to that effect. Resolution of our country by Parliament that nobody should call natural medicine alternative to anything. We are not alternative. We cannot be serving 160 million of 200 million people. Then the 40 million educated, colonially educated, and this is not to insult anybody because I am also colonially educated before I went for better education in traditional medicine. But for those of us who went for Western education, we are the 40 million vocal minority. So that's the reason why it looks as if, because we are the one TV is interviewing, and newspaper is interviewing, international agencies are asking us to do one thing or the other. So it is our voice that is being heard. The majority, they cannot be alternative. So, and convention, what is convention? Convention means what is generally accepted. If we use democracy, if 160 million people generally accepted natural medicine, is it not supposed to be conventional? So it's not, is that. So thank you, Professor Tijani. And I will discuss with you on some of the alternative funding streams that you suggested, so that we can also work together. It's our country, nobody will do. Let's do our own since we have the opportunity now. Then OSA products, no problem, I'll handle that. Liaise with NOA, in fact, right now I have MOU, and I mean, there was no existent MOU before I came. Now we have MOU with 23 different academic institutions and bodies across the world. So, but I have not gone to NOA. I tried the population commission because since I don't have staff, because all these things I'm saying, I have only 127 staff, but I need 15,480 staff because I need 20 staff per local government. If you give me 20 staff per 774 local government, it will be 15,480, and you will see what will happen, the revolutionization that will take place in this area in the next 12 months.
Wow.
So thank you. Then my chairman, TNP, Inherit and Help. We are now in this area. That's why we are teaching intellectual property rights. You see that thing that our people in the village, when they give, let me tell you, You know, Dr. Okoro Abi, one of the questioners was talking about evidence. No, it's Dr. Clement that was talking of knowledge to evidence. Dr. Okoro, and I will use you to, no, Dr. Clement, I'll use you to answer this question that comment that chairman made. See, when somebody fall down from pantry, the way they are falling down in the village every time, and they fracture their legs or their hand, they don't go to the hospital. They go to traditional bone setters' homes. No matter how scattered their legs or hand is, they fix it, and those people, they go back to the field to play football. Even medical doctors have been fixed like that. I have medical doctors working with me who will tell you that this hand was fractured and it was a traditional bone setter that fixed it instead of amputation. So what evidence are we talking about? That's biological evidence. That is outcome evidence. So in the same way, sir, now look at the people fixing those things. They'll just tell you to drop 100 naira, 200 naira, that the ancestors forbid them to be paid for it. One of the things we want to teach our people in our college, we are teaching people in our college is no ancestor. We kill you because you collected money. You must collect money. Because all this one that big pharma countries are doing, big pharma industries are doing, that they are collecting huge money, is our plant biodiversity. They develop something from it, then they sell it back to us in exorbitant rates. Then we are saying, because of ancestor, you should not be paid. So we are teaching our TMPs now. Now that it has become a national project, we are teaching them IPR. We will have a way of protecting those things so that people will benefit. While we are benefiting health-wise, they should also have their life better economically. The traditional man that gave us the concussion that we developed the product for sickle cell from, the royalty for life is for that family. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Prof. I can read from other platform where people are saying Prof is really on fire. Prof came prepared. Thank you very much for this, sir. To move to our last but not the least participant, I want to call forward Dr. Moses Afolaromi, while I want Dr. Clementina to get ready, and also Elijah Aulat Sule. Dr. Moses Afolaromi, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the host and the entire team for consistency in this organizing this kind of program and talk. I've listened to 2 or 3 in the past, and they are very, very, very revealing. Thank you so much. I don't have any question for Professor Emeje Martins at all. He's my classmate. He's my friend. So I know him in and out. I just want to congratulate the team.
I'm not
hearing. It's as if we've lost him, probably due to technical glitches. Okay. Can I move to Dr. Clementina? Dr. Clementina, you have the floor now. Can the admin please unmute Dr. Clementina?
He's asked to unmute, so it's left to him to unmute now.
Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. You're on, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. I greet everyone on the platform. I am sincerely so impressed with what's going on here. I am actually speaking from the States, and I'm so excited that my people are really doing something great. I suggest that we create more awareness on this and on collaboration in the respect of the diasporas. Very important. We really need to expand on the issues that had to do with natural medicine. Is really I don't know, I'm so excited. I don't even know what to say. It's so amazing. I'm saying this with tears on my eyes. I said, finally, my country has come to his glory, sincerely.
Thank you, ma'am.
We need to celebrate this. We need to create awareness on the youths, young people, even children, babies. This is our history. This is really our history. You know, we're going back to the ancient landmark.
Thank you. Yes,
you know, because already we have a blueprint.
Oh, yes.
You know, and it's really going to help us so much. I am so excited. Thank you so much, everyone that have contributed on this platform. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. I said we are great people. I said we have something to offer to the world. I say my country is the best.
Thank you,
you know,
yes.
thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you,
and you know, I'm so I'm so impressed with the support from every other people here on the platform. I really don't know what to say. I love the synergy. I love the spirit. I love the positivity. You know, it's so great. So please, you all keep doing what you're doing. Keep synergizing. Keep, you know, but concentrate on getting our youths involved in this so much. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, ma. Sorry, my brother. Let me just say, because the energy she dropped now is intense, and I'd like to say this. Thank you very much for what you just said. This is the kind of spirit that we also need, because although I am not somebody that can be discouraged, I am not nobody discourages me. And that's why I have moved on this trajectory. Those who know this area know that it's not an area that if you are a weak or a feeble-minded person, you can't be on this line. So thank you very much for this. And let me say here for the first time that the agency is embarking on my natural medicine story. There's a national project we are starting called My Natural Medicine Story, which is going to be for youths below the age of 18. We want youths below the age of 18 to tell us their natural medicine story, so that we can, and we are going to do this in form of a national competition. We will, in fact, since the Chief of Staff to Mr. President is on this platform, if he accepts that he will be the one that will be the one to give our prizes when we are on the grand finale, then we are fulfilled in our agency. But it's a project that we are going to start towards the end of the year or first quarter of next year. I thought I should drop this since Dr. Clementina's energy is so high, and he mentioned the youths. Thank you, and over.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. I would like to call Alaja Aulat. Dr. Tomari, my apologies. Our time is fast spent. You know, so sorry for that. I hope probably you get more opportunity when next we organize this event. And also you can put your request or question via email, where we'll send to our distinguished guests. I'm sure you will do justice by probably addressing whatever you may have to put forward. Thank you very much. Dr. Alaja Haulat Sule, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Standing on all existing protocols, I say good evening to all distinguished participants, and I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Dr. Emeje, Professor Emeje,
yes.
I want to start by saying congratulations on the prestigious position that you hold. It is a well-deserved one. Read so much about you, about your activities, and I say well done. Sorry also because of your mom. Now, I want to talk from the place of, you know, a clinical administrator in King's College, you know, the Department of Hematology, Oncology, and Orthopedic. I'm passionate about cancer, and a report, you know, in light of a report from the population-based cancer registers that says there are 100,000 cases of cancer occurring every year in Nigeria, as well, that this number contributes 15% to the estimated 681,000 new cases of cancer, in Africa. I want to say, what is the likelihood of a synergy between Nigerian natural medicine and allopathic medicine to reduce the mortality and morbidity rate of cancer in Nigeria? I asked this because I was going to say we don't have the time. It also relates to, the increment in rate of kidney problems that we have in Nigeria, but at this moment are limited to cancer. How can you have a multidisciplinary synergy between hospitals across Nigeria and Nigerian traditional medicine to reduce the mortality from cancer? Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma, for your kind comments. I'm grateful. Now, this is it. First, I'm a scientist and I respect published studies. But if you are a scientist of my type, who was born in the village, who grew up in the village, who is still in touch and goes to the village, and you now see today you are sitting at WHO Geneva, where decisions are taken on global health for everybody in the world, you know that some of the studies that we are actually brandishing were not properly done. Because a lot of those studies were just done in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Lagos. Whereas our communities where we should do the studies, nobody is going there because nobody wants to go through bad road, that he wants to fly on third road. And there is no Sheraton and Transcorp in my village. And people want to stay inside Sheraton and inside Transcorp. The real local people who can join hands in doing these studies, when we begin to include, and I'm not talking of government, I'm talking of international development partners who are always giving money for people to go and do study, they'll publish and be telling us, this is the data in our country, this is the data in our country. It is either you took the data from the hospital, which takes limited number of people, or you took those data from urban elites. So that is number one. Then number two, if we were to go into our communities, you will see a lot of people that because of their nutrition, because of their the herbs that they take, either as part of their condiments, in soup, in pepper soup, in vegetable, in the things they do, or because of the type of life they live, physical activities. They don't go to gym, but they go to farm. Growing up in the village, I went to farm in the morning, I went to farm in the evening. What gym is better than going to farm? So all of these things prevent cancer. So if we actually calm down and do systematic investigation, studies in our downtrodden level, at the local level, we will get good knowledge of what is happening. Then from there, they will serve as platform for drug discovery and development. Paclitaxel, vincristine, vinblastine, these powerful anti-cancer agents, they all came out of plants. And we have such plants in Nigeria. So, my sister, in terms of integration, this is not the time for us to talk about integration, because we have too many people that what they understand is colonial-minded training that we all went through. The humility to understand the other side, which they did not teach us in school, is not there. So anybody talking about integration, we bring loggerhead. What I have been pursuing since I became this DG these 2 years, which is working for us, is a hybrid model. The hybrid model means if I enter the airport and I want to enter Ibom Air, Nobody will stop me. I want to enter airpeace. Nobody will stop me. I want to enter value jet. Nobody will stop me. So let it also be that in the health sector, the different healthcare delivery packages and means and models are available. Let people choose. It is traditional medical approach I want to. It is the modern medicine, allopathic medicine approach I want to. That is how we should do. If you go to China and you enter a typical teaching hospital, you decide as a patient which side you want to go. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Prof. And also kindly accept my condolences on the demise of your great mom, sir. Thank you for your time today. On this note, I would like to yield the floor back to our chief host, Ambassador J.K. Adebola. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, my honorable friend, Barrister Tosin Olayinka, for that, for handling that part of the conference excellently well. Thank you so very much. I was just listening patiently to the exchanges between the participants and special guests. You see, now, there's something people say that there's nothing like a personal experience. And I was likening some of the exchanges to my own personal experience. So I would like to bring in, because a special guest spoke, the last statement you made was the need for a hybrid approach. If I get it right.
Yes.
To our medical issue.
Yes.
Because I work in the medical field, in the legal field here in the UK. There's something we call hybrid hearing. Okay? Where one party can attend court and the other can't. So the court will now decide to make we will provide either a telephone or video appearance. So that is called hybrid. That set me thinking from my own personal experience, which happened about a month or 2 months ago when I came back from Abuja. You know, when we did the husband, when we go to Nigeria, we like to flex a little bit.
Yes, now.
To flex a little bit. That was this I can't remember where it is in Abuja, but each place where I went to is a garden place, starts in the garden. But I got bitten by some mosquitoes. What I'm about to say now is very serious. That's why I want to bring it on. The first day I got bitten by I didn't take anything, whatever. The second day or third day again, I went there again. It was in the garden, very beautiful. I mean, it's the aesthetic was just, the ambience, as far as I'm concerned, was just out of this world for someone like me. I said, okay, went there again. I got bitten. By the time I came back to the UK, I had blood clot on my leg. I knew that before I left Nigeria, because because I knew that from my experience in Nigeria, that when you got bitten by mosquitoes, you don't scratch it.
Okay.
I got that itch to scratch it, but I resisted the itch. By the time I got to UK, it became blood clot, if you know what I mean, in 2 places of my leg.
Yes.
Now, because of my age, in this part of the world, they always invite me to come for blood test and all that.
Okay.
But some of the participants will understand what I'm talking about here now. When I went for the first blood test, they wanted to admit me, and I said, no, hell no. What the heck? I'm not sick. What's your problem? Nigerian man now, my head. I said, no. They kept me there till about 11:15 at night. I said, no, I'm not sleeping here. They did what they call ECG.
Yes.
Because according to them, they said they suspected certain things in my bloodstream.
Yeah.
They were not sure what it was. Me, I know say nothing do me. You know, they did 4 CGs, 4 ECGs they did. 4 blood tests they did. Time they took about 3, you know, they have this little nonsense. They took your blood, 3, 4. And the third one, I said, if my trouser starts to drop, I could blame you guys, though, because this blood, when I take from me now, where they go? Anyhow, to cut this long story short, somewhere along the line, they said that they couldn't decipher what the problem was, but they suspected maybe I had a blood clot somewhere. They gave me some something, they sprayed something in my mouth and all that nonsense. I took all of that. Then towards midnight, they said they were still insisted they were going to. I'm saying this for the benefit of Nigerians across the world, for us to understand what you have been talking about all along. They said I had to. They insisted I had to. They had to admit me. I said no. You know, my brain. They, you know. I said no. Me, I won't go home. Somebody was even suggesting you go give me. What was it? Their silly food. What's it called again? What the stupid food they eat here? And I said, look at me very well, black man. Do you think that kind of food will sustain me? I'm hungry. I want to go home. Anyhow, they now said, when I was trying to make trouble, another doctor was sent to speak to me, and she now said that initially they thought I had a mild heart attack. I said, hell no. Now me carry my leg come here now. If I get how so she now said that was why they gave me all those treatment, but that they need to give me another one. She now warned me. She said I might have a brain bleeding in my brain. And that got me scared. You see, I'm saying this because some of our people in Nigeria don't ask questions. That's why they go to people. And I said to her, look, if you give me all of this crap and they have blood brain, and you're now telling me that if you give me another one, they're gonna have blood brain, why do you expect me to now accept it? She said, oh, that is the start. I said, no, I'm sorry. I have to go home tonight. If I'm gonna die, let me die in my house. To cut the long story short, I went home. I refused. I was not going to stay there. But what happened was the following morning when I woke up, because got me to, I went to the A&E. That was what brought about all these things. What made me to go to the A&E was when I woke up in the morning, I had problem with my left ribs. Perhaps maybe because I just came from Nigeria, you know, I was feeling the sun was out, because me, I always like to cover up. But when I came back, I was like in my t-shirt and all that crap. So that made me to absorb a lot of cold in my body. So when that happened, by the time I got to the office, in the afternoon, that went from my ribs to the center of my heart. That was when I got really, really, really scared. And I was trying to speak to my GP. For 20 minutes, they were not picking my call. That was when I decided to go to the A&E. Let's try to put that into context now. So by the time I came out of the train, because I decided I wasn't going to drive. When I came out of the train, each step I took, I was feeling it in my chest. That was where I knew I had to go. I wasn't too sure whether I needed to go to the A&E, but when I came out of the train station and each step I was feeling it in my chest, I knew I had to go there. Luckily for me, the hospital was opposite the train station. Those who live in the UK will understand the what's it called? I can't remember what the name is. Whitechapel Station. The hospital is London, whatever it is, opposite it. So I went there. So when the doctor now said to me close to midnight that they would give me another medication, that I had the propensity to have a bleeding in my brain, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Why would I take something that will? I don't have that problem now, so why would I take something that will give me that problem? I'm saying this because most of our Nigerian guys don't ask questions. I said, no, I'm not going to have it. If I'm going to have it, leave it till tomorrow. You're giving me something now that has, because at that time, the problem in my chest has gone off. The only one is on my side. I said, I can live with that. Let me go home and sleep. So when I woke up, she now said to me in the morning, if the problem persists, they will call me. If the problem persists, I have to come to the hospital. I said, okay, fine. That's a good deal for me. So in the morning, when they called me, the one on the side was still paining me, but the one in the chest, gone.
Yes.
So they now said, okay, I should come. That was when they insisted they have to stay overnight. I said, okay, fine. Now, the following morning, I stayed there overnight. The following morning, they now found out there was nothing wrong with me anyway, in the first instance. But I appreciate the fact that they took the time or took the effort to look at, because at some point they were saying maybe I had some infection and stuff like that. So many theories went on.
Yes.
Now, you see, at that time, I just couldn't process it in my head. But it was after they started me that I started to think, you know what, these guys were right. Because perhaps if the medical practitioners in Nigeria think that way, many deaths would have been avoided. That's why I'm bringing it here now. So that those watching us can learn from this to say, you know what, you see, because they went OTT as far as I was concerned now, or now I'm thinking about it, they couldn't have it any other way because they were not ready to take any chances with me for me to drop dead in the middle of whatever it is. So I think I'm just saying that so that in your position now, perhaps maybe that is something that you can bring into your, I don't know, maybe curriculum or whatever it is that you're doing to get the government, to get the, we don't have any chance in Nigeria, was it? The medical, whatever profession, to, I'll tell you this because I'm marrying this with the experience I have with my wife. She had a stroke. You get the point?
Yes.
She had a stroke on a Sunday in a church, in the church service. She went to the hospital. Well, not stroke. She had high blood pressure. She went to the hospital on a Sunday. I spoke to her on a Sunday. She was able to. She wasn't too clear in her speech, but at least she could answer me. But on the Monday morning when I called her, she just couldn't answer me. That was now I'm trying to marry that to what my own situation now, for you to understand the difference between the UK and Nigeria. Perhaps that will help you in your own work. Monday morning, when I called her, this was a woman I've been married to almost 40 years. You know, she became more or less, because I had to do a video call. She became like vegetable, she was in a vegetable state. She was just looking at me in a distant way. She couldn't answer me. And I was like, what the heck is going on? That was when I spoke to my daughter and she said, she's been like that since last night. And I said, okay, can you please put the nurse? Now, this is a private hospital now, not general hospital.
Yes.
Put the nurse on the bloody phone. And when I said, has a doctor seen her since yesterday? She said, no. I said, why the hell not? Somebody was brought in with high blood pressure. Don't you have doctors on call? She said they do. So what the heck has he been doing? Why she couldn't give me a satisfactory answer? That wasn't I said to her. You know what? If anything happens to my wife, you, the owner of the hospital, and the hospital will be in deep shit because I'll come hard at you guys like a brick of top. Now, what I'm saying this is because if she had been attended to on the day
promptly.
She thank God she's okay now. By the time I was talking to you, her right side has dropped, her face has dropped. She's lost her, what is it called again? Use of her right arm and right leg. I'm talking over a year ago now. She's still not 100%, but she's all right now. But what I'm saying now is if she had been looked after, because as far as I'm concerned, from something I read was within 2 hours, she would have been okay.
Yes.
I'm bringing that up now, sir, for you, because I believe you are in a position now to do something about this issue. That's why I'm bringing it up, so that you can advise the government that a lot of things that's going on in that country, due to, I don't know, maybe negligence. If I wanted to pursue a negligence, I probably would have made a lot of money. But it's my country. I don't want to, do something like that. But then I don't want that to continue, to affect other people. So the people in the medical profession, with what you've just said to us now, it shows that you have a passion for what you do. And for me, I just hope that other people in that profession has the same passion. I'm a lawyer too. Everybody that knows me knows that I have a passion for what I do. Passion for me is the first thing. If you don't have passion for what you do, if you have passion for what you do, you can do it for free.
Exactly.
And be okay with it.
Oh yes, exactly.
You get the point. So I'm just bringing out so that you can at least find a way. As the Renewed Hope Global, whatever it is, can work with you. That's in that area. If there's anything you want us to do to help you, trust me, we'll do that. Thank you so much. That's why I just wanted to put that in. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Excellently. And you will hear from me. Because and I want to thank you actually for this invitation and for bringing me up here. I think is one of the best things that have happened to me in these 2 years of my working as a DG, because it's is a new platform and a good platform to expand my reach and scope, and to voice out the things that we are doing, so that people also know, because a lot of us are doing things that people don't know, and we do not have the means of letting people know because we don't have the resources to be in the air every day. Thank you very much, and I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, sir. I don't know, maybe if you have like because we've been here we wanted to be 2 hours, but thankfulness to you and your benevolence, despite your sad loss, you've given us 3 hours, 40 minutes. And we thank you for that. Thank you so much, sir. I don't know if you have maybe some last minute remarks that you just want to give, say.
Yeah, so as my final remark, let me just thank all of you again, especially you for reaching out constantly. And also, because I wonder how you were doing it, but now I understand, because it's passion. Once you have passion for something, people ask you how you are doing it, and then you'll be wondering, that is it not because you do it with ease, no stress at all, but people think that a lot of work is going on. So thank you, and all your colleagues that work on this platform, and all the participants, because if they didn't come, then this wouldn't have been of any use. I'd like to thank all of them, those that made comments, asked questions. I'm excited that there were even some people, advanced people, VVIPs, who said that that they are converted based on the presentations that we made and all of that. And so I believe that going forward we will only be better. It's our country, and we owe this to ourselves. It's not a favor we are doing for anybody at all. We are doing it for ourselves. So thank you for all you do, and to also ask you to remember us, remember my agency, remember me when you are out there speaking, when you see that people are out, because there are also people out there who may be looking for where to put in some skills or resources to get things done for the country. Tell them that if there's any place that they can trust, that whatever is said that to be done is what will be done, as transparently as it can be, that they can get to our place. I give anybody my word about that, because that's the only thing that I can do at this point. Now, I've even lost my mother this morning, so there is really nothing. My father is gone, my mother is gone, in 3 years, father and mother gone. So what is it again? Nothing. So thank you very much.
Thank you so very, very, very much, sir. The way you ended it, I will start my closing from that because
Okay.
I said earlier on, the fact that I was shocked when I spoke to you this morning, when I heard that your mom passed away. You said the show goes on. If you noticed, I went a bit quiet.
Yes.
And I was like, who is this guy? He just lost his mom and he's telling me, because the reason I called you was to say, okay, maybe you will not be able to come.
Yes. I actually noticed it. I actually noticed that you went quiet because in fact, it was some minutes later that you sent me a message that this shows who you are.
Because I was calling you to say, okay, all right, we'll either postpone it or whatever. And before I uttered that, you said, you know, the show goes on, and I was like, sorry, am I speaking to the right person? So that was why it took me another message to send to you to say, you know what, that shows the character of who you are. It shows me, all appreciate that. And
thank you.
You and Mama will always remain in our prayers, because I believe for her to have begotten someone like you, you see, the universe will say, out of the black pot comes out agidi, is what you call a call, right?
Yes.
White agidi, aha.
Yes, okay.
So which means you are the white agidi that came out of the black. So for you to have come out of her shows she was a woman of virtue. And as far as I'm concerned, she has a place in paradise.
Amen.
Our prayer is just to continue to help her to enjoy that peace that she's had in God. Because the Bible says to me, let me talk in Yoruba so I can paraphrase. It says, Amu olododo ṣáájú àkókò rẹ̀, kó kó má wá tọwọ́ bọ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀. All right, the problem now with me is paraphrasing. It said the scripture says we cast away the righteous before their time, so that they cannot dabble their hands into sin. I think I got that right. I got that right. So that typifies Mama. That typifies Mama. So that is the consolation I want you to have. Regarding her life. That yes, you may think, oh, she went too soon. Hey, we may love them so much, but why you God love them more than we do? What do we do? He is the Alpha and the Omega. He decides what happens. So we just have to give him all the grace, all the glory. So we thank God for her life, because for her to have birthed someone like you, because from everything you've done so far today now, it shows that Mama has left a legacy. We cannot deny that. It's only a fool that will not see this. So for that, we give God all the glory for her life.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for you again being the true daughter of the true son of Mama. For saying, despite she's gone, because I've given you, because you see, it's one thing for one to, you see, the more I keep saying to people, the day my word no longer becomes my bond,
yes,
God take me away.
Yes, sir. Oh yes.
When I tell you something, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So you told us you were going to be here today, even though Mama left 2 a.m. this morning. You said, you know what? The show goes on. I still, even as I'm talking, I still can't understand in my head, wrap my head around it. But I give God to do the glory for everything, because it shows that you are a man of faith, you are a man who believes in God, and you're a man who believes in God you serve. And you're a man who believes that Mama has gone to heaven. And we thank you, and we thank God for all of that. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
May God continue to uphold you.
Amen.
And rest members of the family.
Amen.
And we pray that He gives all of you the fortitude to bear the loss.
Amen. Amen.
Just get this right.
Yeah.
Mama is in heaven.
Amen. Amen.
She's on the right side of God and enjoying
Amen.
all the benefits.
Amen.
The moment you have that in your mind,
Okay.
everything else is secondary. Thank you so much. And we cannot forget your missus as well, because if she did not give you the permission to be here, you will be here.
Yes,
almost
that's
3
true.
hours.
That's true.
Give Madame all our warm regards.
Thank
We
you.
respect her for allowing you to be here.
Thank
and,
you.
Hey, from what I'm reading on the chat room, man, we might knock on your door again.
It's okay.
Apart from the fact that you come highly recommended, I've been getting private messages since you've been talking that this guy is on fire.
Okay.
So there's chances that people might say, we want him back,
I'm here.
We pander to what our people want.
Anything for Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
For my country.
Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
God bless you. And may God repose our soul. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so very much. So on that note, thank you so much, sir. So on that note, we will be drawing the curtain. But before then, let me just highlight all of because I only highlighted 2 VVIP that came on the program, but we've got a lot more. If there's anyone that I've left out, please forgive me, because it's been kind of crazy all day. I've got Dr. Sylvia Okoro. Well, apart from the Right Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila, the Chief of Staff to the federal government, like I always say, you don't come any bigger than that, except the president himself.
Yes, sir.
Chief, the Right Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila, who was here to support us and to support the our guest of honor, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, the DG and CEO of ECN. I used to say to him and the whole world that up until he came, at 60 now, the ECN that I knew was the Electricity Corporation of Nigeria. So now, after that came the NEPA, right? Then after that came the, I don't know, whatever it is that came after that. But he was the one that came, even though he was from diaspora. He went to Nigeria and did us proud. I will say that to him, even though he's kind of shy about it. But I said to him, look, don't be shy about it. We have to say what you did, because he made ECN trend now. Everybody in the whole world now knows that ECN now is the Energy Commission of Nigeria, not the Electricity Commission of Nigeria. He's the one that made that possible. So every time we have our program, especially one that has something to do with his agency, is always on our program. You could see when he was talking to us, he was in a car. Maybe he was on his way to the airport or something like that. He does that all the time. So that's the kind of person he is. So thank you to him. Dr. Sylvia Okoro, that's another person. I'm not going to talk too much about her now, but she's somebody that is dear to this program. We love her to bits, and she knows that, because I met her a couple of times in Abuja. She's from Abuja, and Dr. Michael Tomori from Unilag, he's the one who recommended you to me. And like I said, he gave me hell. I had to have you here. He gave me hell. If I don't have you here, he's not going to let me rest. So Dr. Tomori comes, you come highly recommended from Dr. Michael Tomori from Unilag. Honorable Oladapo too is another friend of the house who they always join every week, and they always have something good to say, either about the program or about the special guest of honor. We thank them a lot. Engineer Bola Babalide from South Africa is another one. Professor Adeshegun Labijo from just to tell you that this program attracts people from across the world. Professor Adeshegun Labijo from the USA is here too. Honorable Emmanuel Etim. He used to be another special guest on this program. Every week he comes on. Every week he comes on. Just to give us support and to give our guest support. Honorable Emmanuel Etim What can I say? God bless you. God bless you and your generations yet unborn. Thank you so very much. Professor Tijani, I spoke about him earlier. I'm gonna drag him here, kicking or screaming. Come and because we like, you see, all of you guys in the academia, we need to have you here to give us as much of your experience as possible so that we can Nigerians can benefit from you guys. Professor Honorable Folu Odutalayo too. Those are some of the guys that has been awesome, helping us and coming up on the program all the time. So for that reason, I say kudos to all of them. Thank you so very much. And for you, again, and for your family, I say thank you so very much. And may God give you and your family the fortitude to bear the loss. So on this platform, I'll need to draw in the curtain. In the next couple of days, we will be posting the details of our next guest of honor for next week. So please watch this space, and as soon as we get it, and please come back again next week. I'd like to introduce you as one of our as one of our VIPs who are.
I will. Thank you very much. Thank you.
God bless
and have
you.
a good night. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.